Let's make it happen. Caissie, let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
You and I do a show. Everyone's asking for it. No one has asked for it, but I'm gonna give it to them anyway.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Let me tell you a thing I know now.
What's that?
I know that I am not cut out for an East Coast heat.
It's not the best.
No. In fact,
you were raised without humidity.
I was raised without humidity or daylight savings. And I have to say, fuck both.
Yeah.
Fuck both.
Yeah, you're a sweater too, so...
Oh, I'm a sweater. We all know this.
I feel like...
People reach out to me and with memes about sweating sometimes. I'm like, guys, I know.
You're so famous for sweating.
I'm famous for sweating.
There's nothing more depressing to me than the weight of a pair of pants once you've sweat through them.
No, we talked about this. Whatever. When I
walked home from the garage. Yeah, it's just like that's nothing will make me cry faster than a pair of pants that weighs an extra pound.
Okay, here's what I'm up against this week. I'm going to start off. Wait, can you not even see me?
I can't see you. You don't have your camera on.
What a fucking vibe. She's not even got a camera on this week. Okay. So thank you for letting me eat my salad in peace, by the way. It was delicious. I ordered from a new place. And
good.
It was so good. And then also they had this banana bread that when you place an order on one of these fucking things and then it's like people who order the salad also ordered this banana bread. Is it something you might be interested in? And of course it is. Obviously. It's so good. I'm savoring it. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I've been feeling really terrible. Everything's terrible for me, but that might be different for you. But anyway, but here's what I'm up against. It's Birdie's birthday. Birdie's turning 14 on, oh no. Birdie, oh God. I just want to find those Swedish cinnamon rolls for the Birdie that they used to sell at IKEA, and they don't sell them there anymore.
They don't sell the cinnamon rolls at IKEA anymore?
I don't know. They were out of them, and I can't even remember what they're called, and Birdie pronounces them with a perfect Swedish accent, and it's gifla or something like that, but I can't remember what they're called to Google them, so I'm trying to little Swedish cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, there's cinnamon buns I've never seen them called anything but cinnamon buns at IKEA, so I can't even venture to guess.
Well, it's the Swedish. I guess we could look up what the Swedish. Oh, gilflar. Wait, here it is. Wait, it's 3 pounds. Wait, that's not American money. How do I get them? Okay, wait. Now giflar. Okay, it's GIFFLAR. GIFFLAR. Busy, don't you have an assistant? Isn't this something that your assistant should be doing? Yes, but also, let's just be real. Wait. Here we go. What? IKEA says they have them.
Yeah, I've never not seen them at IKEA. I'm surprised.
I don't know. Birdie went to IKEA. For more information on our stock levels, well...
I know IKEA has been having stock issues with items DIY, put it together yourself furniture, but cinnamon rolls, it seems like they would have.
Also, can Matt get us the sunscreen, the Trader Joe's sunscreen?
It has been very popular. He likes it himself, and
I'm serious though.
It's selling out.
The postcode. Wait. I'm sorry, IKEA. I just put in my zip code.
Yeah.
And they are telling me it's not valid. Do I not exist?
I blame that all the websites demand that you know that little suffix that goes on your postcode, which I never know. I've never known it in any town I've ever lived in. I suppose I could learn it, but it just feels like one of those things where I'm like, no, I'm not going to learn it.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Why does my computer... Something's going on. I've been hacked. I'm hacked. I'm like 100%.
Is your computer saying that you live somewhere else?
Yes.
Did it latch onto somewhere where you were traveling with it?
I haven't been to Adelaide, Australia in recent memory, so no.
Oh my God. That is so
It literally
weird.
thinks, what, that I'm in Australia? Change country. Okay, here we go. Fine by me. I accept. Wait. Your kids were too old for the Bubble Guppies.
Oh, yeah. They were Club Penguin guys.
I don't know about that, but I do know that every time I hear Australia, in my head, I hear the Bubble Guppies going, Australia, it's the land down under. Australia, it's the land of wonder.
Wow.
Just so you know.
We have a
just
lot of
so you
listeners
know.
in Australia.
Australia, it's the land down under.
Hi to everyone in Australia. Oh, but was Bubble Guppies like a cartoon?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. We were talking
No,
about...
they weren't. They didn't live in Australia.
Oh, it was
The
just
Bubble
a song.
Guppies?
Well,
They went there at one point, I think, or
I
something.
understand.
They were just like singing
I thought
about
it was like a computer game for some reason, like knowing your kid. That's why I brought up Club Penguin. This is...
I don't know what Club Penguin is. I don't know what you're
Club
talking
Penguin
about.
was like social media for kids. It's actually like, do you know Facebook's metaverse? It's exactly that, but it existed like 20 years ago.
Someone
for
I
children.
know, someone I like vaguely know, literally. Wait, you guys, now I want to go to IKEA? Question mark. I think I want to go to IKEA. Where are IKEAs in New York? Maybe I just go there and find these little cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, I think that's...
But really, can Matt get that sunscreen for me? Because I want it.
You know, Matt is so honest and he would never use his powers to like...
No, but he did do a thing for me that was a real mitzvah. A while back, guys, there was a Trader Joe's snack that was just not on the East Coast, but it was West Coast all the way. Sometimes don't stock as much of a thing in different regions.
Yeah,
and they didn't have the like Takis.
We'll call it a dupe.
I love it. We love a Trader Joe's moment in our household. Birdie's favorite like activity with me currently is that I have to go get the car out of the garage that it's housed in and then go get Birdie. And then we get in the car and we drive on over to Trader Joe's. And then Birdie does snack shopping for the next week.
Yeah.
Brings their own bag, little fucking Phoebe Bridgers concert bag. It's the cutest thing. I'm not ever surprised when people think that Birdie is like an NYU student or like a college student. Like the person carries themselves as if they are 25 years old. You know? Also, like, here's the thing, like any of the babysitters, I use that, I don't even know what to call them because at this point it's like so weird. Like they're not babysitters. Like they're just like girls in their early 20s that I like pay to hang out with Birdie, but like who actually just like have a very chill time and like do fun stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in fact, like one of Birdie's babysitters, shout out to Tuli if she's listening, in LA, like 2 of the days was like, I feel like I can't charge you for this. Like, it's like we just like went to Universal and it was like so fun. And you know what I mean? Like she's like, I was like something I would have done anyway. Well, I get it. But
Yeah.
Birdie doesn't. But Birdie's like, it's not the age because it's just Birdie doesn't like to be alone.
Yeah. That's how, this is how Eli was, and, down to the independence. And, that's why he started volunteering when he was like 10.
Well, guess what? I know I had talked about Birdie maybe getting a job at Sephora.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel, honestly, I'm just going to be real. It doesn't feel reasonable.
Okay.
Like, it feels like too far of a stretch.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, what friends do I have that have children that Birdie could just babysit? And so I reached out to my friend Jess, who is my friend through the ACLU. She works at the ACLU and we work a lot together. And Jess has a newly 7-year-old.
Okay.
And I was like, any chance you want to utilize my child as a babysitter? And Jess was like, yes, booked. And so Birdie had their first babysitting job and was like,
excellent.
I know, it was actually excellent, and was like so proud of the cash burning a hole in Birdie's pocket currently.
Snacks cash. Yeah. Yeah.
It's that snacks cash. And then Birdie wanted to buy like some new sheets or whatever. To be fair, Birdie's sheets were kind of disgusting, but that's because they eat Takis or whatever, the dupe. They eat Takis in bed, and then like that bright red flaming hot stuff gets like
Taki dust.
Taki dust is hard to get out of things, guys. I'm just gonna say it.
I see that a lot of people eat those snacks with chopsticks so they don't have to put their hands in it, which I think is really smart because I don't like to have anything on my hands.
Okay.
I don't, and I like watching someone, like when someone puts their fingers in their mouth to get it off, it's all over for me.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting, but that is definitely something Birdie does. That is definitely something Birdie does.
Yeah. It's just, I'm no shade to anyone who does it. It's just that I personally can't watch it. It's a horror movie for me.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting. I hate watching people put their fingers in their mouths, even people that I've birthed out of my own vagina. Yeah. So anyway, we got the bird's birthday, and
you're
Birdie really wants
you gotta get those cinnamon rolls.
I'm gonna focus on that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make that happen. Birdie really wants to go to this thing called like the Stranger Things experience.
Oh, okay. That sounds fun.
It does sound fun. It's sold out this week, so now I'm trying to like pull strings.
Okay.
Because also I did know that they wanted to do this, and I forgot to look into it until it was too late. And also Birdie wants to see Gaten Matarazzo. Is that how you say it? Yeah, Gaten Matarazzo in Dear Evan Hansen.
Okay.
Which is, I can get those tickets. That's not sold out. But
no relation to our friend Heather Matarazzo. People always ask.
You know who he is. He's on Stranger Things.
He's on Stranger Things, but people often think that he's her brother or sometimes her son, I think. Guys, just a FYI, Busy has her air conditioning on because it's so hot in New York. There's nothing.
I can't do anything about it today. I'm not. Many days I just turn that off. I did turn the fountain off. There's nothing to be done about this air conditioning today because it is untenable.
Yeah. I turned my air conditioning off so that you're not listening to two air conditionings because I honestly think it's probably cooler in Los Angeles than it is in New York.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
But that's what that is. It's not like a truck idling or New York air conditioning is very it's very aggressive.
Well, it's a window unit. Window units are aggressive by nature.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like always, I mean, I don't know if you've had much occasion to be in office buildings in New York City, but I just feel like the office air conditioning was so, I guess because it's off for a good part of the year, then it just goes on like May 1st or whatever, full blast until September 1st. Like, no, it doesn't matter what the day is. It's just very aggressive.
Guess what?
What?
The air conditioning in the townhouse.
Yeah.
On the fritz, on the lower levels again.
I don't like that. I don't like that for you.
Well, I'm over here, so I'm kidding.
It's 4 degrees cooler in Los Angeles than it is in New York today.
Yeah, but also it's like it's not equivalent now that I fully understand. Growing up, people would say Arizona and our 115 degree heat, but it's a dry heat, you know?
Yeah.
And I also used to be like, sure, but 115 is 115. And like, that's insane to have to go back to school.
Yeah.
In 115 degree.
It is. Yeah.
Weather.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not the same thing though. It's just not, I know. Now I really understand it. It's just not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Like, I actually love the dry heat. Like, I can be in 100. I can walk outside in 115.
Sure.
Right now it is 97 degrees. And when I tell you that if I walked outside, I would immediately pass out.
Because it's like somehow taking liquid out of your body while also making you breathe liquid, that I'm convinced that like the liquid in the air, that is the humidity, is also holding like every piece of debris and dirt. And I just feel like I have never had blacker boogers than like a humid day in New York City. You know what I mean? You blow your nose at the end of the day and it just looks like
oh my God.
A goblin.
We used to call that those were rave that was rave snot.
Rave snot.
Rave snot was always like the black snot you got after a night of dancing in some fucking gross ass warehouse.
Yeah, well, New York City is one big rave. Like, I mean, it's rough. My favorite town to visit, Minneapolis, also gets, there's 1,000 lakes there. So in Minnesota is the land of 1,000 lakes. So that place is just made of humidity in the summer.
Oh my God. Also, some sort of fly thing happened yesterday in our house. I don't know where they all came from, but all of a sudden there were just like all of these like dumb flies in the lower level of the house. And
God.
Literally, it was disgusting. And we went on like a fly killing spree. And listen, guys, don't come at me for killing flies. I'm sorry. They invaded my space and they're dead. They're gone.
What did you kill the flies with? Just old school swatter?
We didn't have one. So you know what I used?
What?
A pancake spatula. Like a really thin, the big thin one.
Okay. Whatever works. We have those like electric tennis rackets that are also, when I worked on the Graham Norton show, we were sent every type of sex toy that ever came on the market because we would love to like use them in comedy bits. And one time we were sent like a little paddle that would like shock your bum or whatever, like during.
Oh, wait. I had a little tennis racket thing that electrocuted bugs.
Yeah, it's the same exact thing as the sex toy, by the way.
So you could use it for both.
I mean,
you know what we love? You know what we love?
Multi-purpose.
We love a multi-purpose product. We're not in the business of buying like a thing that only does one thing.
No,
like,
we
need to know that we can use it for our sex play as well as killing mosquitoes.
We recently bought some from Harbor Freight for fly killing purposes, not sex purposes. And they seem really powerful. And I will say that my loving, gentle husband, Matt, sometimes just goes out on the patio and like, you know, that's
Goes
like
to
his
town.
his
Goes to
sport.
town.
Yeah, he just.
Yeah, I'm going to text Blake because he was going to Bed Bath & Beyond. See if they have electric fly swatters. Is that like evil?
I actually think I don't know if it's evil. I don't know. One time we talked about flies on the podcast and people recommended to us, this felt evil because it seems like, well, I just said that my husband like kind of just goes out on the patio and swats flies. But this felt like a little evil to me just because of the messaging. But a lot of people recommended this thing that shoots table salt at flies and that kills them. Like because like table salt is like bullets to flies.
It's insane. That is truly, that feels unhinged.
And I was kind of like, oh, that
feels unhinged. I'm sorry.
You know, I love innovation. So I'm like, okay, table salt. And then like, you know, that's pretty easy to clean up or whatever. Then I went on the website and like they had all this slow motion of like the flies getting shot like close up. And I was like, this is a little weird. But people do like that product.
Sorry, I gotta get this banana bread. It's so good. It's just sitting here taunting me.
It's just taunting you. I like
so good
to trap the flies in that thing that smells like vomit diarrhea in that fly trap.
I remember.
Because that's like, they think they're going to a party. It's like their last party. And then they're like, they can't, you know, it's like Hotel California. You can
check in, but you can never check out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Raid Roach Motel, but Hotel California is you can check out at any time you like, but you can never leave.
Ew, I don't like that.
But I just think that's a good way to go if you're a fly.
Wild grain, wild grain, wild grain, wild grain.
I like
wild
that.
Wild grain, guys.
Wild
grain.
Remember how over the pandemic everybody started baking sourdough bread?
Yes, but that wasn't for me.
I did not, because that's a lot of work. I wanted sourdough bread, but I never baked any.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
What?
Wild grain makes it possible for you to get all of the flavor with none of the time and work involved.
Yes.
Not all carbs are created equal. Wild grain is the first bake from frozen box for artisanal bread. Plus, they also have like rolls, pastries, and handmade pastas. It's only clean ingredients, unbleached, non-GMO flour, and they utilize a slow sourdough fermentation process that's healthier for you and tastes better than anything you can find in a grocery store. And to be honest, you know, with my stomach issues, it's kind of the only thing I can have when I want like an actual pasta.
Yes. Can I tell you something?
You may.
You know that I sneeze when after I'm having wheat, and I
know this.
I'm just telling you, I've treated this like a science experiment. I've had the sourdough bread, the 2 types of sourdough bread. I've had these little like peach pie bites. I've had the pasta and I've had the croissants, and I've timed myself. I had sourdough bread just this morning and it's 4 hours later and I have not sneezed one single time. None of this stuff makes me sneeze. I don't know why, but all I know is that croissants are back in my life and I could not be happier because you don't need to go to France. The wild grain croissants are incredible.
Also, I just want to say, Birdie had one and I was like, did you think it was delicious? And Birdie's like, yeah, it's just like the ones that I had in France. So you heard it from Birdie.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's kind of incredible. Also, For every new member, Wild Grain donates 6 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank. So far, they've donated over 120,000 meals. And they're going to donate so many more because you're going to sign up at wildgrain.com/busy and you choose which type of box you want to receive and how often. And it's very easy to reschedule, skip, or cancel, which you might have to do if you have to go out of town or something.
Right.
So if you guys are hungry already, I am now.
Yes.
I am.
I have a fresh sourdough loaf just waiting for me out in the kitchen.
Feels rude. Anyway, guys, for a limited time, you can get $30 off your first box plus free croissants in every box. What?
Incredible.
Go to wildgrain.com/busy to start your subscription. You heard me. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/busy. That's wildgrain.com/busy, or you can use busy at the checkout. Do it. I just got an email from Higher Dose and I was like, it looks so relaxing. I swear to you, I was like, oh, I want to get my sauna blanket out and do the sauna blanket while we're doing the rest of the podcast. And then I decided that probably might be a bridge too far, but
it might be good.
It might be.
Maybe
it actually really might be.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do a sauna blanket.
Maybe we should do
episode.
one day.
Yeah.
Whatever. Guys, we love them.
Yeah.
We love Higher Dose. The infrared sauna blanket really makes me sweat it out.
Voluntarily sweating. Yes. That's the difference. Is when you're just able to have a sweat in a controlled environment in your house. I really love the PEMF heat mat with the crystals in it. 20
pounds. Who loves that?
Your mom,
you know who
Gina.
Loves that? Gina. My mother does love it and Gina loves it. I love it too, but I'm just saying when I find someone else on my mat, because sometimes I turn it on and I go like hop in the shower and I let it heat up. And then I come out and there's Gina just like a little pig and something.
You know what? I also love the red light LED face mask. People ask me all the time, like, oh, what are you doing for your skin? Not to brag, but I'm bragging about it. But that's what I do. I mean, just sunblock and that face mask. That's it.
I mean, it's a recipe for success. And by success, I mean beauty. Guys, also, you just want to get into it. It like recharges your cells. It makes you feel relaxed and grounded. It's just all so good. Get your own sauna blanket and mat and red light mask today at higherdose.com. You can use promo code BEST at checkout and you're going to save 15% off. That's higherdose.com, promo code BEST, or just go to higherdose.com/busy and you will save 15%. I also want to just say, just throwing it out there, it makes an excellent gift.
Yes, it's a really excellent, thoughtful gift.
It's a really nice gift and you can go in with some of your friends.
Yeah.
For someone, you don't have to like buy it all yourself. I'm just saying, for a friend, like getting one of the mats or the sauna blankets for a friend or the red light mask or all of them for a friend for a big birthday.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Or it makes an excellent gift to ask for as well.
Ooh, Caissie, you're so smart.
We're all hard to buy for, right? But if you have someone special in your life that, maybe is looking to get you something for a big birthday or for a holiday coming up or an anniversary, give them the hint. Or
give them the hint.
More than a hint, just tell them.
Just tell them. People just like to be told things sometimes. Go get your sauna on. Okay, so whilst we were gone,
yeah,
we Gina was like staying at the house and we had like people at the house staying with Gina.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got back and Gina was like being like a little weird about, okay, well, two things. Number one, there's a backyard in the place in the townhouse. And obviously that's where Gina goes to do her biz.
Yeah.
I wish we could think of a better thing for dogs. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's so closely related to your name, so it must feel personal.
business?
Yeah, like people say get busy to their dog to make them go. So
I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
You've never
That
heard
feels
that?
no, that feels like you just made that up to be mean. No, but no, I just mean like, you know how you can like potty train cats? Like it feels like you should be able to do that with dogs. It feels like they should be able to, it feels like dogs should be able to use a toilet.
yeah,
I'm
they're
sorry, it
they're
just does.
smart. Well, cats like love water for some, you know what I mean? Like they love to play. They're curious about it. So I think that's like our old RIP cats trained themselves to go. We would like catch them on the toilet, going in the toilet, and we never made an effort to teach them. But like if Matt left,
I mean, I have to say that's special.
but I just think it's something about like cats are like, yeah, water. I dig it.
I mean, that is really, yes. But anyway, I'm like very interested in finding an alt. Oh my God, that again, back to the Jack Black movie. Envy, guys. If you didn't hear the first podcast where we tried to figure out the movie Envy, don't worry about it. Just know that Jack Black's character is on a mission to try to eliminate dog shit from the world, and it becomes a whole thing. But anyway, so Gina. Okay, a couple of things. I'm just like I'm all over the place with the story. Okay,
Yeah.
so Gina's been like weird about going out and like I didn't really understand what's happening, whatever. And then Blake had mentioned like, oh, I wanted to tell you this weird thing happened while you were gone. I like fed Gina in the morning and then she just like walked over to the rug in the kitchen and just peed on it after she ate. And I was like, huh, that's really weird. And like, this is a fully trained dog who's been fully trained for a long time. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
But we know she's also a bit of a drama queen. She's sitting over there, so I have to talk quietly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's possible that she was mad because you left.
Oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
So anyway, cut to, I was like, huh, that's weird. And he was like, but I cleaned it up and it was like, you know, I think it's fine. And then I took her out and like, whatever. Cut to Mark calling me yesterday in like a state because he watched Gina walk over to the carpet and pee on it. And then he was like, what the heck is happening? And then he lifted up the corner of the carpet and then lifted it all the way up. And it's like, I mean, it looks like she's been peeing there literally for 1 month straight.
Oh, no.
Like it was like soaked into the hardwood. Like you could smell, like if you lean down and smell the hardwood, it smells like pee.
Oh, no.
Which, you know, I'm not in the mood for this.
No, I'm never. Yeah,
I'm just not
I'm
in the
with you.
fucking mood for this right now.
I'm with you.
It's like one more thing that I truly am not in the mood for. So I was pretty fucking bummed. And also like it's not her fault. Like if she was, you know, she's a pandemic dog.
Yeah.
Truly. If like
she can't let herself out.
She can't let herself out. We don't have a doggy door. I don't think that's a thing people do in New York because, you know, robbers, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't have one. And also like maybe she was mad. Maybe no one was paying attention. Whatever the case is, she obviously then just decided
Yeah.
Or her little dog brain just like got confused and then was just like, well, this is where I pee now.
Yeah.
You know? So I looked online. So we rolled up the little rug and put it downstairs. We'll deal with that later. Like it'll have to be like professionally cleaned. I put like a ton of baking soda on it and let it sit for over 24 hours. That was like a thing I read.
Okay.
And then I vacuumed it up. And actually, I have to say, it like the smell part, it really did work.
Okay.
The other thing people have suggested or did suggest is hydrogen peroxide or vinegar.
Okay.
But I felt like the baking soda did a pretty good job.
Okay.
And we're obviously not going to put a carpet back there. But then, you know what I did get?
What?
It was the only thing I wanted for my birthday, really. The Bissell little green machine.
Oh, I have that.
You do?
Yes.
Always?
Yes.
Well, see, if we lived in the same place, like you could have just loaned it to me.
Yeah, I could have loaned it to you.
Do you love it?
Yes. I mean, it's great because it's little and you can just whip it out and clean up things. You can attend to things as soon as you notice it. But yeah, we use it on everything. Get a blood stain out of a mattress.
Excuse me? A blood stain out of a mattress? What's happening?
You've never gotten blood. You've never gotten your period on your mattress?
Well, honestly, no. But no,
or a bloody nose. A bloody nose.
No.
I've done both of those things.
I mean, okay.
It's really helpful. But yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm so glad you got it. So did you use that?
Well, no. Because they were out of the pet deodorizing cleaning solution.
Okay.
So I had to wait for that to come. So I'm going to do that like later today, I think.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to use it on like so many things and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And it's also fun if you're like into vintage furniture. Like Eli uses it to clean up stuff all the time. In my experience, an enzymatic cleaner is a good thing to use on pet pee and poop.
What's an enzymatic cleaner? What is that?
Exactly. It's like, it's basically, it is similar, I think, to kombucha, but it's a cleaner. So it's like a fermented cleaner with enzymes in it that like dismantle the gross molecules of pee.
Can I just use kombucha? Because I have a lot of kombucha currently.
Yeah, you probably could. Or vinegar would probably work in the same way. I think it's all on the same idea. Here's you know that I love science.
I do.
You know, I'm a science bitch. And so one of the things, like, I don't love the act of cleaning, but I am very interested in the science of cleaning. And so whenever you have a type of stain, whenever people are like, oh, you put meat tenderizer on that, you put vinegar on that, it's always about what will scientifically counteract whatever the stain is made out of. That's why certain things work on certain things and certain things don't work on other things. So you probably could just use kombucha on there.
Well, I might try it. I don't know.
See, again, if you were here, we have like a 4-gallon bucket of enzymatic cleaner.
You want to put it in like a little thing and just mail it to me?
I wish
with
I could.
That sunscreen from Trader Joe's?
DM it to you. I know. That sunscreen is hot stuff. So you have pee problems.
I got some pee problems.
That's a bummer.
It is. It just like made me feel bad for Gina. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, listen, she has a good life. But sometimes a dog just picks a spot that they like to pee in for whatever reason. And, you know, you have a spot you like to pee in too. It just happens that it flushes into the sewer. And so it's not a problem.
I remember one of Birdie's friends when they were little was like, Busy, you know how when you're in the shower and you pee? And I was like, I mean, not always, no, but like, I guess I have before. And she was like, oh, I do every time. Every time I get in the shower, I pee. And I was like, you know, kids are just like the best.
Yeah.
For things like that.
Yeah. Wasn't it Madonna who like said that she peed in the shower too because it got rid of athlete's foot?
Oh my God. Yes, I remember that. And it's like the thing on Friends when they're at the beach, the jellyfish thing.
Oh, yeah. Which I think is not true. I think doctors let us know peeing on a jellyfish sting doesn't really do anything, right? It's just perverted, right?
Why was it perverted?
Because, you know, people are always like, let me pee on it. They're so eager to like.
I think people, because I don't think it's perverted. I think it's like primal. I think people want to like pee on things.
Yeah, maybe. And like pee is sterile, kind of, right? Is that true? Doctors, please let us know.
Wait. There's one of my friends in LA posts literally the most insane. He's just like I'm kind of obsessed because he's just become like a meme aggregate account.
Yeah.
Like, which is just like, you know, those people in your life where you're like, okay, I guess this is your journey. Like you use social media for one thing, it is
spread memes.
Just meme it up and like and like just give me the memes, all the TikToks, the memes, the fucking whatever. So my friend Ed is like truly a meme queen.
Yes.
And like TikTok, whatever. I just like all the like most insane, ridiculous shit on the internet is like I see because of him.
Yeah.
So he had this thing posted. I just had to click on it and then I just had to go to the guy's account. It's like this, like he's like a mountain naturalist, mountain man who's like totally bald with like this big beard. I'm sure someone listening has seen it. And he's just like talking about his pee as he's like peeing off camera.
Sure.
And then he drinks it.
Yeah, I have heard about like people.
It is so fucking disgusting and horrifying and I couldn't stop laughing, but it's so gross.
Again.
And he's also so like sure of himself, which is just like,
we need
that's the part.
We need to probe the science on this a little bit because here's the thing. I believe that urine Do we? I believe that urine is sterile. I have seen where people, and this might be like a cultural thing or it might just be like one of those things. I don't know. I haven't investigated. I have seen people online who are like, I do use my first urine of the morning to try to clear up the acne on my face. And I have...
What?
Yes, people like wipe their face down with their urine and some people swear by it. And
I
I'm
wish
like,
you guys could see my face right now.
I know, but I'm saying like if I was troubled by acne and I really, you know, wish to clear it up, I
would go to a fucking good dermatologist. I'm not like wiping my pee on my face. Jesus.
Well, first of all, like not everybody has access to a good dermatologist. And like you, especially when you're a teenager, like your parents are like, tough shit, you have zits, like just deal with it. You know, I might put pee on my face. I don't know if somebody, you know, it's my own pee. I mean, people do like poop transplants too. And people take like they swallow poop capsules for like, and that is on recommendation of a doctor.
Fecal transplants,
right.
I know, that's a whole thing.
Swallow capsules of the poop of other people. So I don't know that I was like...
I don't know.
I know, but like think if you had really bad acne. I'm just saying like psychologically, if someone told me pee might work, you might want to try it, I would do that. But then drinking your own pee is another thing altogether because it's not even encapsulated in a capsule. And I think we have to remember that while pee might be sterile, again, scientists, you tell us. I don't think pee is sterile under all circumstances because, like, it might be sterile when it's in you, but once it starts to come out of parts, it's touching things that aren't sterile, most certainly. But Pee is to like filter stuff out of your body. So like, even though it might be sterile, it's still like waste product. So I don't see, I'm confused as to how someone could think that that's like nourishing. That's like what your body wanted out of it. You know?
I don't like it.
I mean, listen, the wonders of pee, right? That could be like a whole podcast in and of itself.
No, I think that's what this like guy's whole identity is. I'm not kidding.
He's just talking about vitamin P.
I swear, I think his whole identity is just pee.
Wow.
Pee vibes.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to look into this guy and see what he's trying to sell.
It goes on and on and on. It went on and on and on. Like it really went on and on and on while he's peeing out of frame.
Interesting. I mean, if you only drank your own pee, I just feel like you would eventually die. He must drink other things because your pee is just going to get more and more concentrated until you're like.
No, I think he drinks other things. He's like,
okay.
He's like I don't know, markets himself like he's an expert or something.
Okay. So he drinks other things for fun, but for health, he drinks his pee.
It's like totally insane. So wait. I didn't finish the Gina thing.
Let me
just explain. I think that, so then we've been noticing before the pee discovery, we had been noticing that she was like very skittish about the backyard.
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure out what was going on. And it felt like I just didn't know what was happening. Oh, then Mark was like, yesterday or something, he's like, there was like this piece of a dead bird in the backyard. Oh my gosh. And I was like, oh God, that's terrible. But I'm scared it's Gina because remember Gina the bird killer.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's a hawk in the neighborhood that just like showed up at some point.
Yeah.
And I think Gina's rightfully terrified of the hawk.
Sure.
And I think that the hawk killed that bird.
Okay.
Not the bird that Gina killed a while back, but that was another time, another place. But because this morning I took Gina out and I heard what can only be described as a hawk's call. It was a hawk. And I couldn't see it, but I did notice there used to be like a ton of little birds in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And those guys are all gone. They're not in the trees.
Yeah.
So what I think must have happened, or maybe they migrated the fuck out of here because it's too hot. But what I think must have happened is that while we were gone, Gina was out in the yard. Maybe battled the hawk. I don't know. Maybe the hawk swooped down on Gina. Maybe Gina saw the hawk murder a bird.
This is like the staircase. You're about to get a 6-part series on Netflix.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Actually, yeah, it's coming to Peacock this fall. Starring Pete Davidson as Gina.
Oh my God.
Literally insane. Anyway, I'm convinced that she's been sort of freaked out by some hawk terrorizing the small animals in the neighborhood. Now, is this a thing that happens in New York City proper? I don't know.
Yeah, there's hawks all over that place.
I don't know.
Hawks are always like building a nest on the side of a high rise, and people are like, yay, we have a hawk.
Hawks are good I think they're a good omen.
Yeah, I mean, they get rid of vermin, but they also, I think they do harass small birds.
And maybe
small dogs.
One little Gina.
Yeah.
Who was like, oh, absolutely not.
Oh my gosh. We also have a hawk in the backyard. It's like nest is right next door. And I do think that we do also find bird parts. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's too much of a downer to just but now I already said. But like one time we found like a dead little bird when I was like going out to go in the swim spa. And, what are you going to do? Like, who knows how that happened? I think it was that hawk. But then when I was in the swim spa, like I just noticed these two, I don't know what type of bird it was, but they were frantically like flying all over the yard. And I was like, oh my God, that's their baby. I had a whole story. That's their baby. They're desperately looking for their baby. We threw it in the garbage. But I mean, it was so sad. But then it was like every bird in the neighborhood like convened on our yard. Every hummingbird, every oriole, every dove was like singing mournfully on the wires above. And it was just like there were 1,000 birds in my. I had to leave the swim spot because I was like, oh my God, it's like a full murder investigation, bird murder investigation is happening in my yard.
The birds.
I'm the number one suspect. Rightfully so, because I was involved in disposing of the body, but I had to leave. It was too sad for me. I don't even know if the story I was telling myself was true, that those were the bird parents looking for their bird baby, but I had to go inside. I had to leave. I had to cut my swimming short.
Yeah. I'll say.
It was too much. And then, like, I probably had chicken for dinner, so what the fuck? My brains are broken.
All of ours are. I mean, we have a disconnect between the food we eat and, like, stuff.
100%. 100%.
It is what it is.
You had a good salad. You know what I had yesterday? This is going to be weird, but I wanted to tell everyone about it, is that Matt, my husband, who loves, his favorite thing is watermelon. Like every year he gets older.
Watermelon is in season.
It's in season. And like, he's just happy that he lived to another watermelon season. Like that's a reason to go on and live to be 100 is for 50 more watermelon seasons. Anyway, Matt, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but he's developed an issue with eating seeds. He can't, every time he eats anything that has seeds, like sesame seeds or
diverticulitis.
Yes. I mean, yes, that's what it is. But he has like crippling stomach pain every time he eats. And so I got a seedless watermelon for his birthday and he ate a little bit of it and crippling pain because it still has like the little white ghost seeds in it. So cut to, we had like 1 million pounds of watermelon with no one to eat it except for me. And like, I'm not that super, I mean, like I don't mind watermelon, but I wouldn't like go out of my way to like carry a watermelon, to get a watermelon or cut it up or eat it. I feel like that's such an effort. But he had already cut it all up. So we had just tons of watermelon. And I went to make myself a salad yesterday and I was like, we have so much watermelon and it's going to go bad if I don't do anything with it. So I just put watermelon in a bowl and I was like not that stoked about it. And then I was like, since I'm not that stoked about it, I put like a leftover container of Greek salad dressing on it. It was delicious.
Okay.
Because I was like, I've seen like a watermelon and feta salad like in like the New York Times recipe section. And I was like, well, I have some Ken's Steakhouse Greek dressing here. Let me just put it on.
Watermelon and feta is the best.
Yeah, it's so good. But I didn't.
Watermelon, feta, balsamic vinegar. Okay, now I'm on board.
Yeah,
now I'm on board. Now I understand.
It was
I understand
really
what
good.
You're saying.
It was really
That's great.
good.
That's a great idea.
If you're faced with 1,000 pounds of watermelon that you don't know what to do with, just try some salad dressing on that shit. It was good. I give it an 8.
I really, really enjoy a watermelon feta basil salad with drizzle of some balsamic. Woo!
I don't love balsamic vinegar. Isn't that
All right.
Isn't
No,
it
it's
weird?
all right.
No,
I get it.
everybody loves it, but I just
get it.
feel
I get
like
it. Sometimes I'm over it. Sometimes I understand. I'm not kidding. Sometimes I'm like, it's we're
you know
done.
how things like foods like go out of fashion, like truffle is everything, and then people are like, truffle's over. Like some chef will say that truffle's over, or sun-dried tomatoes are over, which I agree with. I don't agree with sun-dried tomatoes ever having been a thing.
Wait,
But
sun-dried tomatoes have been over literally since 1987, babe.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But like there was a
Right.
time when they were like the biggest deal, and people it was
And
like
orange roughy.
they
It was
were like-
orange roughy.
it's like they were
and
celebrities.
Sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes and orange roughy are like showing
They were
up on
making special appearances
red
on every
carpets.
fucking menu.
But I have always wondered when balsamic vinegar is going to suffer a backlash, but it never has.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like ranch really made a comeback, like a real play to like balsamic. I think like was really just there
Yeah.
for and like
Balsamic is-
holding
Ranch
holding
is pop
court.
culture, and balsamic is culture.
Yeah, but I think that even culture has switched now to pop culture and it's like has embraced a buttermilk ranch. You know, I maintain, and I only was paid by them one time. And guys, I'm Tech Avail. You know, I'm looking for that money. I maintain, though, that Hidden Valley Ranch is the best fucking ranch around. You don't need anything else. You don't need someone. Don't need someone to be like, here's my homemade fucking buttermilk. Blah,
No.
blah, 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 blah.
By the way,
Don't
I
waste-
hate when people
don't-
do that.
Don't waste your time.
It's right there in a bottle. Why am I going to spend $30 buying the ingredients to spend an hour making homemade ranch when the perfect
Don't do it.
version is
the
right there?
perfect. And if you feel like you need to like make something, buy the powder. Buy that fucking
Yeah,
powder.
stir up that
Get
powder.
in it.
Yeah,
I love a powder. Oh,
I agree.
Suddenly salad. That's why we love Suddenly salad.
Exactly. The ramen packets, when you get, I love anything that comes in like a seasoning packet is good for me. Taco seasoning is the one thing where I'm like, you should make it yourself because you want to use so much more than comes in the packet, you know? So that's where I'm like, make a big bulk container.
Mark
of
used to do that back in the
taco
day.
seasoning.
He would make
Yeah.
a big bulk container of taco seasoning.
Yeah.
But also, like, I feel like part of it is that those ones, sometimes the store-bought ones are just have so much sodium. Is this
They're very
good content,
salty.
guys?
Yeah,
Are we just
it's-
like, fuck is happening to us? What is happening?
It's not necessarily good content. It's just we're just having a chat about taco seasoning, inauthentic Old El Paso taco seasoning. It is very salty. And we are
I mean, I've gotten the low sodium before.
yeah. And it's not probably as good and like but we don't need the sodium, you know? Well, you could probably use a little sodium right now to keep some water in your body. Cuz your city is trying to desiccate you.
I don't know. I feel like I'm all fluff. You know what I mean?
Well, you do love a sauna, so, you know, just look at it like New York City is your personal
It's not the same. You know it's not the
Sauna.
same? Definitely not the same.
just walk around in a towel and be like, make it the new thing. You're an influencer.
I don't want to do that.
Towel girl summer.
I don't think that's the move for me. I just don't see it in my future. I just don't see it in my future.
Oh my goodness.
Digs. That's not the best. It's not the best. But listen, you know what is the best?
What?
The Revel dog crate
From Diggs.
from Digs.
Gina loves it.
And Gina does really like it. It's so easy to move. That's like one of my favorite things about it is that crate looks great, blends in, like honestly looks so cute. It's like, it really does.
Yeah, and you can just raise it and collapse it with one hand.
Gina really loves it too. She likes to be in it. You know, she was crate trained when she was a baby. And then, like, I didn't know if she was going to ever want to return to the crate. And guess what? She does not mind it at all, turns out.
Oh,
they
good.
remember.
Yeah, they feel safe in there.
remember. Yes, their little cave.
You should also check out Diggs's passenger travel carrier. It's 5-star crash test rated. Everyone's traveling with their pets this summer, and it's small enough to fit under your airline seat, but it has plenty of room for your little buddy. So if you're traveling and you've been anxious about how to make that a safe trip for your pet, look into Diggs with 2 G's passenger travel carrier.
But also, you can use it in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's designed with safety first, as all things for our beautiful little pets should be. And our little pets love us, and we need to show them that we love them in return by taking good care of them.
I agree.
So make your pets more comfortable with Diggs' fantastic products. For a limited time, get 15% off your entire Diggs order. To get this offer, you need to go to Diggs, DIGGS .pet, PET/busy, BUSY. That's Diggs.pet/busy. Order today. Go to Diggs.pet/busy, DIGGS. ZocDoc. Oh my God, you guys, we love ZocDoc. Are you guys using it yet? How do we? Sometimes
Let
I'm
us
like,
know. Yeah.
I swear to God, please let us know. Sometimes Katie says that she, like, I hear this a lot, like that she talks back to our podcast.
Yes.
And there are moments like this where I'm like, I want people to talk back to me. Like, have you taken our advice? ZocDoc is literally the greatest. It's a free app. It shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, who take your insurance, and who are the best of all, available to see you when you need them.
Yes.
You guys, it's exhausting, especially for me. It has been being in a new city, trying to navigate finding doctors for my children, for myself, for everyone, literally.
I'm going back to ZocDoc found great dermatologist Mavis Billups Saturday.
Wait, you're going back to Mavis?
Yes. She wants to follow up with me on how my nose infection's doing.
How is it doing? Is it good?
It's great. It's all cleared
Great.
up. She took care of it. It's great. So I'm just going back, and maybe she'll give me more sage life advice. We might cry a little, and maybe she'll check out some moles or whatever. But Mavis is the best.
Well, I love that. And I love that you found the doctor that was right for you, which is what ZocDoc specializes in, guys. Every month, millions of people use ZocDoc. I am definitely one of them. You know, it's how I found my ENT when I had the worst sinus infection ever here in New York. It's my go-to when I need to find and book a doctor that I know is going to be good. I can read the reviews. I can find out things that, like, you need to know before you get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, anyway, I just truly cannot recommend it enough. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. ZocDoc. So in the chaotic world of healthcare, let ZocDoc be your trusted guide to find a quality doctor in a way that is very pain-free. Sorry. But anyway, go to ZocDoc.com/doingherbest and download the ZocDoc app for free. And then you start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Lots are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/doingherbest. ZocDoc.com/doingherbest.
You know what happened
What?
this week besides, like, ongoing saga with Carvana, still waiting on an estimate if my car is fixable. But in the meantime, can't drive it anywhere, so might as well be unfixable. So still waiting to see if the Carvana situation is going to be fixed, or how that's going to go. So spending a lot of time at home. Really sad because, like, I just woke up with a start one morning and I was like, I should check if the 12-foot Home Depot skeleton is available now.
Yeah, you're obsessed.
I already missed it. I already missed, like, the big ordering time. It was in July. So, like, clearly I'm not serious about owning a 12-foot skeleton.
You're obviously not. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
I
it.
mean, I hadn't been training for it like other people. Someone did advise me to join a 12-foot skeleton Facebook group because that's where all the intel happens on
Sure.
if
that
like an
tracks. Yeah.
if an outlier comes up and someone sees one in a store that's within driving distance. I know we're all supposed to get off Facebook, but that shit is entertaining. The 12-foot skeleton group is every bit as entertaining as the Buy Nothing group has ever been. And I, while I'm still nursing at the teat of Facebook and trying to wean myself off of it, that 12-foot skeleton group is entertaining as hell.
Well, you got to entertain yourself.
People will post on there, hey, has anyone seen a 12-foot skeleton at any Home Depots in the Northwest? I was told they're in stock. Now they're out of stock. They canceled my order, blah, 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 blah. And like some guy will, in all sincerity, I'm going to get kicked out of the group for like revealing what goes on in the group. But some guy in all sincerity.
Is it like fucking Fight Club? What's happening?
I mean, because I'm kind of like in a mocking way, but
Are you? You really want one of those fucking skeletons?
I really do, but I'm saying like somebody will be like, has anyone seen one? Because my order got canceled and blah, 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 and their whole saga. And then some guy will sincerely comment like, you just have to be dedicated. You have to put in the work every day. And when you do that, eventually it will pay off and your skeleton will come to you. You can't just come on here asking for skeleton handouts. Like, what do you expect? Someone's just going to give you a skeleton because you want
That's
it?
not true. This isn't
I'm
true.
not even joking.
You guys, is America okay? I'm not kidding.
It's like, for real, somebody's like,
I'm concerned.
you're very entitled. You think you're just going to get skeleton handouts? No, you have to work for it like I have. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And one day, when you've put in the work, you'll get your skeleton. You don't just get it just by asking.
I mean, now I want someone to just give that girl a skeleton, though.
It's insane, but
Because wouldn't it stand to reason that like skeletons come to you when you need them most?
That's what I mean, like mushrooms.
Like everything?
Yeah. Like that's
Like
what
life?
Like life, yeah. So, but this guy believes it's because of his hard work and dedication to the craft of purchasing one item from Home Depot that he just wants everyone to put in the work like he did.
Is there a place where it's like less popular, the skeletons?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't think so. It seems pretty nationally popular. Maybe in Canada. Because like one time we were in Canada and Justin Trudeau was at the ice cream shop and my kids ran over there to get their picture taken with Justin Trudeau. And all the Canadian people could not understand why we gave a shit about their prime minister. And they were like, why does everyone want their picture with that guy? And I was like, oh, he's like massive. He's like a celebrity. And they were all like, we don't get it. So maybe in Canada, if they have Home Depot in Canada, people are like, why would everyone want this giant, stupid skeleton?
This skeleton's like Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, and Justin Bieber, very popular.
Very popular.
And I know Canadians, I know that for some of you, Justin Trudeau isn't popular in that way and that you have concerns about him. I get
really?
it.
I don't know anything about it.
I mean, there's always concerns with anyone. I know he's done some stupid stuff.
I feel like he's been prime minister forever.
He really has. I mean, yeah.
How does it work there? Like,
that is a good question.
It just stays? You just stay? Does he do anything? Does he have any?
He goes to ice cream stores.
I mean, so does Joe Biden. We know that.
We know that. We know that guy loves ice cream. I have been laughing at the Dark Brandon memes.
I don't understand. I don't know what they are. I missed it. I missed the whole thing.
Okay, so
I've been in a little bit of a.
You've been in like a life hole.
I've been in a life hole. Turns out.
So you know about Let's Go Brandon when people were chanting, I believe at a NASCAR race, fuck Joe Biden. Someone said, I think they're saying Let's Go Brandon. And so then right-wing Republican people, it's been like kind of the one half humorous time that they've been half humorous, started saying, let's go Brandon, when they really meant fuck Joe Biden. So anyway, this week.
I never knew that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
I never knew the origins.
Okay. So
guys.
I'm probably explaining it not just to you, but to other people that missed it. So anyway, Let's Go Brandon has been a thing, and it trends on Twitter all the time, because that's one thing that conservative people are good at, is making things trend on Twitter, probably with the help of a bot army, but whatever. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But this week, Donald Trump has had a very bad week, and as president, Joe Biden has had a pretty good week, getting some things accomplished. And so people have been liberal people have been calling him Dark Brandon. I don't know the exact origins of it, but they keep tweeting this like comic book type picture of Joe Biden with glowing eyes.
Okay.
And it makes me laugh. And it does harken back to a character that my son Lincoln invented named Twin Manuel Miranda, who is Lin-Manuel Miranda's evil twin. And if you get Lincoln in the right mood, he will do like a Hamilton style rap for you, but in the voice of Twin Manuel Miranda. And it is pretty funny, but he has to be in the right mood to do it. But anyway, I like Dark Brandon. I like the Dark Brandon memes. The former president of the United States' home at Mar-a-Lago was, he said raided, but it's not like they didn't come in, the FBI didn't come in with guns. They just gave a little surprise visit to find some documents in his house. And so that was entertaining for me. That was an entertaining day.
When was that? Yesterday?
It was yesterday. It already seems like a million years ago. And I'm sure
it really, really does.
By the time we wrap this up, maybe something else will even have happened new, because I feel like it's just that, that happened on a Monday. So I just feel like this week is going to be a roller coaster of things happening.
I think it's a full moon.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a fucking roller coaster, guys.
So hang in there. But
okay.
I don't want to get my hopes up too much, because we've gotten our hopes up in the past, but it did make me feel like a little bit like, okay, things were happening. When the Ahmaud Arbery ruling, not ruling, but when the Ahmaud sentencing happened, that gave me a little hope of like, okay, it's not justice. Justice would be for him to be here, but
and also Breonna Taylor,
yes,
indictment as well,
yes. So
for the cops,
right?
Okay, so yeah, like I guess you're right. And then like. Yeah, there's been stuff. Sorry, guys. I'm just a little bit.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, but those things have given me hope. And then when I hear like, oh, they did go and actually like pull some files out of Mar-a-Lago and surprised Donald Trump, he wasn't tipped off in any way, then I'm like, okay, people have been working at this, and that's a good thing. And the Democrats have accomplished some things this week. Could they be better? Yes. That's why we need to elect like a thick majority.
I had a really I had a good meeting this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, with this organization that I think I'm going to join as the chair of the creative council. They're starting a creative council, and they asked me if I would be like the chair, guys. The main creative council person.
Amazing.
It's called Vote Mama.
Nice.
And I met the woman who started it at that Gillibrand event last month. But it's a super PAC. It's a super PAC for the good guys.
Right.
Guys, for the good guys. Specifically moms running for office.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It's very cool. And now, I don't know, we'll talk about it more in another time in our lives in the future.
Yeah.
We have a lot, we We have days to go, but I'll bring it back up again in a little bit when I'll have some things that we're gonna work on that I'll bring to you guys, my friends out there. Can I tell you a story really fast?
Yeah, please.
Because I just remembered it.
Yeah.
I've been having, like I said, like I'm like, sorry guys, I'm like out of it. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's just been a weird time in my life, and things have been really hard. And 2 nights ago, it's been so hot here, you know, and poor Gina just has been like in our house. Also, Birdie told me this, and like honestly, guys, I can't even look up if it's true. But Birdie was like, don't take Gina to doggy daycare because dogs can get monkeypox. Did you know that?
I don't know that, but
well, Birdie said it with such an authoritative tone,
right,
and then pass it to their owners that I was just like, okay, I don't even need to look. Like, I don't need to look it up.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the dog doesn't need to go to doggy daycare. We're home, you know?
Right.
It's fine. But she really does miss playing with she needs her, like, pack time with other dogs. Otherwise, she gets, like...
Right. She's not feeling right.
She doesn't feel right. Which I'm like, same, girl, same. Anyway, so when Birdie was babysitting... Cricket was on with her cousin. I was like, I'm going to take Gina just like on a long walk. It's night, dusk, sunset vibes, cooling down, you know?
Right.
And there's a dog park that has like water features, you know?
Yeah.
So the dogs can like... be cool and lay in the water or whatever. And it's really funny because dogs in water is always funny. So I was like talking on the phone with my friend and I was like, I'm gonna get a little high on this walk on my way. And the dog park was like further than I thought it was. And maybe, and whatever, I just got like kind of high on the walk. And I sit down, get into the dog park, and Gina's like so thrilled. And there's not that many people there because it's like definitely winding down. Although truly in New York in this moment, I have noticed, I mean, like most of the city is like not here, like gone.
Yeah.
But the people who are here do not go out of the house until like after 7:30 p.m.
Right.
And then the streets are alive.
Right. Yeah. It's like a party.
Like,
yes.
Yeah. Then it's like everybody's like out in the streets. Right. So I'm like walking Gina, getting high, get to the dog park. There's not that many people there. There's like a woman sitting on a bed. The bench is pretty big. So it was like, I didn't feel like I was encroaching on her space to sit on the other end of the bench. Right.
Right. Right.
Because there were people sitting on all of the benches. Okay.
Yeah.
So I sit down, Gina runs off. And there's like a golden retriever. There's like a very engaged owner of like a athletic looking dog. Like, you know, some kind of dog that like he keeps throwing things for.
Yeah.
And he's like, and the guy's like probably like in his 20s or maybe 30s. I don't know. Like
he's like an Air Bud type.
And he was like a bro, like with a hat and everything. And like muscles. And the girl next to me looked like she's probably like in her 30s-ish, maybe. I don't know people's ages. And she seemed really nice. And she had like sort of like an elderly, what looked like maybe like some sort of pug beagle mutt thing. Yeah. You know? He was like a little bit older. And then there was the golden who was like hogging the ball and like sitting in the water. And then there was like this other dog that Gina was like trying to get to play, like a black fluffy dog. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm like talking on the phone with my friend and like Gina's running around and I had my AirPods in. So like a little bit I was like, and then I was stoned. So I was like a little bit like at a certain point, I'm like, how loud am I talking? Like this, maybe I should take one of my AirPods out, you know, whatever. And so like the guy sitting across on the park from the bench that the girl and I are on, like said something to the girl as he's like throwing the ball, and she said something back, but I couldn't hear because I had my AirPods in. And then her dog comes up. Oh no. Her dog comes up like at her feet. And Gina was like being very Gina's always very friendly to like all the people and animals in the parks. So her dog comes up to her and then just starts doing this thing, like this, like, and I don't know, because Leanne has had pugs in her life, my sister Leanne, guys. I just was like that. I don't know. Sometimes like animals with short faces and like those noses, like sometimes they're just like they're overheated and they're just like I didn't think anything of it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But then it like just kept happening. And then the guy was like, said something. Okay. And still have both AirPods in, by the way. Okay. But I can hear it. Okay. But I couldn't hear what the guy said. And I'm talking to my friend. Couldn't hear what the guy said. And then she's like, answers back something. And then I was like, I should take my AirPod out. And I take my AirPod out. And she's like, yeah, it's just, he's okay. It's just, he gets this thing sometimes. He just needs to he needs to calm down. I was like, yeah, it's like he's having a seizure or something. What is wrong with me?
Oh my God.
No, Caissie. What was wrong with me? I mean, I was high and I was just like, so anyway, and then I just was like, oh, he's good. Yeah, it's like he's having a seizure. I mean, I guess he's good though. Like not even like I was so.
You said your inside thoughts outside.
I said that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I said my inside thought outside, and my friend in my ear started like hysterically laughing and was like,
God,
that is one of the more insane things I've ever heard someone say to someone else at a dog park. That poor girl. She's like, God, Busy Phillips, such a fucking bitch. Just sits down next to me on a bench. Just like shouting on the phone and then takes her AirPod out to say my dog is having a seizure. Like, how rude. And I was just like, I don't know what to tell you. I've like had a rough week. I don't know. It was just my inside thought about the dog. It really wasn't though. Like my inside thought was like, oh yeah, I could see how people would be worried because it's like, okay.
Right.
My inside thought was like, I could see how someone would be worried because it's like the dog is having like a seizure or something really wrong with it. But anyone who's had a pug or one of those dogs that have really flat noses knows that like those dogs, sometimes they just have these little sneezing kind of attacks, like where they need to just calm down and focus on breathing. You guys, oh my God. But I only said...
You didn't have the further thought, I could see how me saying this to someone who doesn't know me at all would be like, what the fuck? You just had only room for the first thought.
Well, like a part, like mid thought. Like it was like, because I didn't even put the part where it's like, oh yeah, I could see how someone would think that something's wrong with your dog.
Yeah.
But my sister always had pugs. So I remember when they would get these like little sneezing fits and it's like, oh my God. But instead I just was like, yeah, it's like your dog's having like a seizure or something. Like what? No, that wasn't what happened in my brain.
Oh my God.
And then my friend was just like mercilessly going on and on this bit of like just the girl telling people about it later. Like even if she doesn't know me, she's just like, there was this woman at the dog park who was so fucking weird and so off and was like, showed up, was just like talking so loudly.
Oh my God. It's perfect, really. I mean... It's a perfect dog park interaction. Dog people, right? If they take their dogs seriously. One time I think we had like American Kennel Club like dog stars on Watch What Happens Live. And there was a dog that was like one of those really like a big breed that has like so much hair. Like it has like just chunks of hair.
like fluff. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It wasn't even fluff. It was like long hair, big dog. Anyway,
an Afghan?
It wasn't an Afghan. I don't even know the breed of dog. I'll try to figure it out, or you can go back and look. But anyway, Andy said that dog was a little smelly. Like he joked that the dog was a little smelly. And I think he had to like issue an on-air apology.
Like immediately.
The owner, like in the next act, because the
sure.
owner like read us the riot act, and we were like, he just made like a little joke about the dog being a little smelly.
It's not fucking funny. It is not fucking funny. It's not funny. Wow.
It reminds me of this time Mary Tyler Moore told this story. I forget what show it was on. Whether it was on Letterman or Rosie, because she was a guest frequently on both. But she told this story about how she owned goats. She had like pet goats, I think. I'm like reaching way back into my memories.
Honestly, that makes sense to me.
I think she had pet goats, and on some show she had like made a joke about like the goats not being perfect, you know, like that they're pains in the asses or whatever. And some like goat organization wrote
the goat lobby. It's the goat lobby.
Wrote a letter to her. And she was like, I was done when they said the phrase, imagine our pain, when you said.
Imagine our pain.
Imagine our pain when you insulted goats.
I mean, really, that's all we all have to do is just imagine.
Imagine
our pain.
Imagine everyone's pain.
I do.
Before you say anything.
I do. I really do.
I always just kind of feel like animals don't speak human language, so anything I say about them isn't going to get back to them. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Gina knows.
I just feel like if I say it in like a friendly tone, then everything's fine.
I guess so.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
the same could be true, I guess, for people sometimes.
For children, you know, kids don't know. As long as like your energy is good, you can say that like a dog is a little smelly or that a goat is a pain in the ass. They don't know.
No,
they don't know. And you're just like,
actually,
you're just venting. It's just like venting about an animal. You know, my dogs know that I love them from my energy, but my words sometimes are a little harsh. But like animals that are goofy are like good because you can talk behind their back right in front of them and they don't know as long as your energy is good.
Oh my God.
Well, if that woman is listening or any of her, if a woman complained to you that she met Busy Phillips in a dog park. And
or that some lunatic in a dog park was rude about her dog sneezing.
Maybe you can deliver this message that Busy was high. It was a half-formed thought. It was a real
half-formed thing that I got out.
Did you read about that guy that ordered, I don't know if it was like Uber Eats or DoorDash, but when the delivery came, I guess they rang the doorbell. The man rang the doorbell, and the guy was talking to his pet. I don't know if it was a cat or dog, but he yelled, "Get away from the door." And the DoorDash guy just like left the food and like backed away because he thought that the guy was talking to him. But he was really talking to his pet, that he didn't want his pet like trying to go out the door while he was trying to get his food. But anyway, that was a case of where social media was good because they like put that man together with his food delivery driver so that he could apologize for yelling, "Get away from the door" at this man that brought him food. And I thought that's heartwarming.
Yeah.
Not when like somebody has to like have a lemonade stand to buy themselves a new liver. I hate when people are like, "This is so heartwarming. This child is having a bake sale to buy themselves new kidneys." And people are like, "That's adorable." That's not heartwarming. That is that's disgusting and a symptom of our broken society. But a man reuniting with his DoorDash driver that he was inadvertently rude
Charming.
to. when he was
Charming.
yelling at a pet. That's charming and heartwarming and a good application of the internet.
Well, we have a guest today, which is exciting.
Yeah.
It's a friend.
I feel like we've also become friendly too, and I really just admire her so much. She's a good egg.
Well, the other thing that I am kind of obsessed with is, this podcast is a lot, guys. It's an investment in your time and your energy to hear us talk
About pee smells.
And we know that some of my own very personal close friends have complained about the length of this pod. But I found out that our guest is an active listener and a fan.
It's true.
And I was like, a lot of times people will say to me like, oh, I love the pod. Like people I know, people I'm friends with, like, I love the podcast. And I'm like, you don't listen to the podcast. Like I know they don't. I'm like, I know you heard one episode and that's fine. And like, honestly, bless, because, I have that rule about like when you're, okay, so we work in a creative field. If I see a friend promoting a thing, a book, they wrote an episode of a TV show, they are on a TV show, a new TV show that's great. I have like a one and done rule. Like I apply the same rules that I have for jury duty to like friends in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I must watch one or read at least 5 pages or, you know what I mean? Buy the book.
Yeah.
Buy the album. Download it. Whatever. But beyond that, like I can't be held to finishing that series. I can't be. If I get sucked in, great.
Right.
If I want to finish the book, Jenny Mullen's City of Lakes, read it twice. Ada Calhoun's genius book, also a poet. Did I give you that book?
Mm-mm.
I'll send it to you because I bought a couple copies from her book party. Guys, also highly recommend getting Ada's new book, also a poet. It's really fucking brilliant. And it's like about the complications of a relationship with a father who you never felt like wanted connection with you, even though like you share and have so many reasons to be connected. It's like, and her father, is a pretty famous, well-respected writer himself who Peter Schechtal.
Okay.
He wrote for the New Yorker. He was an art critic for the New Yorker for years and years and years.
Gotcha.
And he is a poet as well, and loved the poet Frank O'Hara. And at one point in his career had sold and was writing like a biography of Frank O'Hara.
Oh.
And never completed it. And Ada has written like 70 books or something. Like, she's written so many books.
Wow.
And so then she like kind of sets out to write the biography of Frank O'Hara.
Oh, wow.
That her father started with like the interviews and all this stuff. And it's just like this whole journey, and it's really intense. And I loved it.
Huh. That sounds great.
It's brilliant. But anyway, my one and done. Like when Katie was on, our guest today is Katie Aselton. I've always said it wrong. Remember when she was on our talk show? I've been friends with her for years, and then she was on Busy Tonight, and then I said her name wrong.
I don't think she was on Busy Tonight. Her husband was.
Oh, so I said her name wrong to him, which is even worse.
Yeah. I think we intended to have her on, but it just we didn't make it. We didn't make it that long.
R.I.P. guys.
A lot of people wanted to come on.
R.I.P. Remember Liz Banks was going to give us the like exclusive Charlie's Angel trailer. She like wanted to give that to us. I'll never forget that. She was very supportive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys are buds, and she's a cool lady.
No, I know, but I'm also friends with a lot of people who weren't. You know what I mean?
No, I know. A lot of people were not cool and were, whatever. It's like, business, but like I feel like a lot of people were unnecessarily like salty, held out on us.
Yeah.
And, you know.
I'll never forgive those people. You know who I'm never going to watch fucking One and Done? Those fucking people. They're on a list. Don't worry about it.
I thought about it and I was like, actually, that's another reason why I was so bummed about Samantha Bee is because like I just know her to be like pretty gracious. Like she was very gracious to us and like, you know, sent us cookies and like her whole staff like cheered us on when the show started and like she didn't have to do that. She didn't know any of us.
Yeah, no one else did.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back to like what shows sent us like, you know,
Seth.
well wishes. Yeah. Yeah.
Seth Meyers did.
Yeah. And like all the hosts participated in a little bit except for Conan. Never got back to us, but we were able to turn it around because we got Andy Richter. And so we had reps from all the late night shows. Because, you know, Andy's the best and he showed up in person, didn't even tape anything, showed up. But I was trying to remember like who sent us muffins or whatever, the universal showbiz language of like congrats and good wishes. And I know for sure that Samantha sent us cookies and Julia Roberts sent flowers.
Yeah, flowers and that note that's somewhere in my house, somewhere. It's on the wall. Seth Meyers sent us stuff.
Yeah.
And
I think a Black Lady sketch show did too because they were already in their writer's room.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
I think Robin tweeted about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was nice. I don't remember why this started. Katie.
We were talking about our friend Katie Aselton, who you might know as an actor. She's been on a show.
She was on The League.
The League. My sons love that show and watched
people love
every
it.
episode multiple times.
Lots of people really loved that show. It ran for years, too.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's been in lots of movies like she was in the movie where she played Diane Keaton's daughter. I'm doing this without looking at her bio. Something about a book club, old ladies in a book club, sexy book club. Book club. It's literally just called book club. 4 lifelong friends have their lives forever changed after reading 50 Shades of Grey. And it's old ladies. They're not old. I mean, it's Diane Keaton,
like
Jane Fonda,
women.
Candace Bergen, Mary Steenburgen.
Okay.
And she plays Diane Keaton's daughter.
Oh, okay. I have not seen that movie. I have to. That seems like a good thing to.
She and I were both in The Gift, that movie, The Gift.
Aww.
I've known Katie a really long time. I love her. But I remember going to the second movie she directed, Black Rock.
Yeah.
Like going to a screening of it. And it was when we were just becoming friends, kind of. And I was like, oh my God, she's such a good director. She should direct more movies. And
now she has.
She took my silent advice. I don't know. So anyway, wait, let's talk to Katie. Oh, Framebridge! Yay, Framebridge!
We love Framebridge so much.
My Framebridge stuff is so damn cute.
Doesn't it look so great?
Yes, it really, 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 really does. Framebridge is the best because it makes it easy and, dare I say, affordable.
Yeah.
To frame pictures and artwork and posters and
mementos,
banners and mementos and things that you are like, oh, I've been holding onto this thing. I mean, that's where it like really came in handy for me is that after moving and everything, I was like, oh, right. I was meaning to get that thing framed.
Right.
Here it is now. I have it. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And like Framebridge is like, we got you. Don't worry about it. It's going to be great.
Yeah. They can frame practically anything, by the way. You can like go to their website and just upload a photo that you would like framed, like that you just have a digital file for, but you can also physically send them items that you would like framed, and they make it so easy.
they make it so easy, and the frames are so cute, and you can see what it looks like a virtual sort of like mock-up of what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
A preview before you commit to your frame and matte. And, you know, sometimes things you don't want matted, or you want to try it and see what it looks like. It's really amazing. They also can help you do like gallery wall layouts, which is pretty fantastic. And they custom frame your item and deliver your finished piece directly to your door, ready to hang. And I don't know about you, but I, before in my life, have gotten into situations at framing stores where I'm like, I'm sorry, how much? For what? What? Excuse me? What are you doing now?
Yes.
The prices from FrameBridge start at $39 and all shipping is free. Also, heads up, it's a great gift.
Yes.
Because you also then aren't like paying to ship a gift, especially for a friend that doesn't live in the place where you live.
Right.
Because then you're just like, oh, it's just been shipped. It's
yeah.
good. Also, our listeners are going to get 15% off your first order at framebridge.com when you use our code OURBEST. Order online at framebridge.com or stop by a FrameBridge store. I've done that. It's super fun.
Yeah.
If you're in New York, DC, Atlanta, Philly, Boston, or Chicago, get started today. Frame your photos or send someone a perfect gift. Go to framebridge.com, use the promo code OURBEST to save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code OURBEST. Framebridge.com, promo code OURBEST.
You know what's so weird right now? My son is has been house sitting, but I guess your brother-in-law is at Leonora's.
Yeah, I like made that connection. I was like, this world is bizarre and strange.
Wait, what?
And like,
I don't know.
I know the people who he's house sitting for.
Yes.
Oh.
Because she was like, if the Duplass's are a few doors down, and then he was like, I mean, is it one of the brothers? And I was like, I mean, I'd assume so. I would think so. Yeah.
It's the other brother.
That's what I thought.
Not the one you're married to.
Not the one I'm married to right now.
I mean, listen,
you
only
never
time
know.
will tell, Katie.
Yeah.
Only
I mean,
time.
guys, do you see how I go through houses? How do I go through brothers?
That's
we all laugh, but you know, I did make out with brothers once.
Yeah, look, it happens.
I think everyone should make out with brothers.
I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree with that. I'm gonna say, here's what happened for real. I mean, I was very young, and I was a very sort of in love with one of the brothers.
I did make out with brothers. I have also made out with brothers.
Okay. See, guys,
Not
I think
the
this
Duplass ones.
No, thank God. Well, you couldn't marry one. There's no fucking way.
Weird.
No.
What if you guys broke that story today?
Oh my God.
Honestly, all we want is a scoop. We just want a scoop. Give us some DIANE KEATON hot goss. Give us some old hot goss.
I'm going to give
DIANE.
you the fact that I made out with twin brothers in high school.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Not at the same time.
No, of course not. Guys.
Who knows?
That's true, actually.
Who knows?
Were they twins you could easily tell apart, or even though they were identical?
They were not identical, but they looked really similar, but they didn't go to my school. So I wasn't positive which one was which when I first crushed on them.
Okay.
And their names were it was Jason and James.
Of course,
and so
obviously.
it's tricky.
Yeah.
I mean.
Fascinating. I love twin brothers.
Do you?
Yeah, they make me laugh. I feel like seeing twin brothers make me laugh because when they really look alike, I don't know why. It's just so funny to me. And then I feel like seeing twin sisters is a good omen.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm just saying that.
This is not a thing. I don't think
I like
this
it.
theory
I'm okay with
water.
it, but that's definitely not a thing. But I'm okay with it.
I don't know why to me twin brothers are comical and twin sisters are good luck, but that's how I roll.
There's apparently a vineyard in Northern California called Scribe that is delicious wine, but it's also run by like gorgeous brothers.
Oh.
So field trip, anyone?
Guys, we're in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I want to do it.
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
Wait,
how's it going?
Katie, have you been doing lots of press?
Yes, I had our full press day yesterday. So I'm just like, I'm an empty shell of a human being.
Oh,
I forget how to talk to people. Never mind like talking to people like every 4 minutes.
It's hard. People don't understand what like doing these press junkets entails. I think sometimes they get a sense of it when you see like some actor or director literally lose their brain and malfunction during a press tour, which happens. Has that ever happened to you?
I would love to see it happen. No, but I have definitely had those moments where like your brain just stops and you're like,
wait, what am I saying?
What are words? They're just sounds.
I know we're talking about
and
this
I keep
movie.
on saying things like authenticity and icon, and like those are my catchwords on this. They're the ones I hit real hard.
There are two words that fit with the movie that you directed, Mack and Rita. And
let's just like get all the business because I'm always like, I'm like the class secretary. Okay. Katie Aselton, our friend, is here. She has directed.
Well, we really set her up. I mean, I think
we did
in
earlier.
Our setup, we really set her up.
That's cute. I can't wait to listen.
She listens to the podcast. She has directed a new movie that is out only in theaters.
Exclusively in
theaters.
For now.
Does anyone know what that means anymore? That means you can only see it in a movie theater right now.
Go to theaters. It's called Mack and Rita.
We were saying it's the perfect get out of the heat, go sit in a cold theater with your moms, your friends, your people. I mean, even your teens. It's
real freaking hot everywhere. I don't care where you are.
Honestly, your children will love this movie. I'm not even trying to be weird. Like, it's not a kids movie at all. But in the vein,
it's multi-generational.
Yes, and in the vein of like shit we loved when we were kids. Like, technically, I don't think Big was like supposed to be like a kids movie.
No, but it spoke to us in the same way. It's
majorly.
Didn't we all want a trampoline in our apartment?
Well, I mean, you and I both have them, so let's be real.
It's true. By the way, actually,
we did grow up and put trampolines in our houses,
in our homes.
So,
wait, Busy, can you turn off your fountain?
It sounds like someone's peeing behind me.
Does.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Hold on. We can't with the fountain, guys. I'm so sorry. I apologize. That was the fountain. If Caissie's made the decision to edit everything out that I've said until this moment, I get it, but.
You know what? Sometimes I edit that stuff out, and then sometimes I'm just like, there's no way to work around it without doing a real serious surgery on the podcast. And here's
what I'll tell you though, as a listener, like it's just life.
I told you she listens to the podcast. I told you guys.
I know she does. Sometimes she'll even message me about like something on the podcast. I'm very grateful to you, Katie, for listening.
You guys, it's so hard because you're my friends, and I like contribute to the conversation that you guys are having. And most of the time you don't answer back. Sometimes it feels like you do.
Katie was saying this the other night when I like moderated the screening after the screening of Mack and Rita, the movie. And we actually drank like too much wine before the
a lot
talk.
That was a lot of wine.
We drank too much wine and didn't eat any food because
the Postmates guy stole it. It was stolen.
To be fair, Katie, I think you just didn't put in the correct address.
Not only did I put in the wrong address, but I also think someone stole it from the address.
For sure.
I did
for
put
sure. Listen, you know what? We have to be able to hold both things as being true in this moment, guys.
True.
That's what we're at. That's what we're being asked of. But it was ridiculous, our Q&A. And she said sometimes she talks back to the podcast and thinks that we actually like answer.
I do think sometimes maybe you can hear me. It's weird.
We can feel it. We can feel it. That makes me so happy. I really appreciate that you listen. And I admire you so much just because Well, I admire you and your husband. I'll tell you why I admire your husband most of all, if you want to hear it. You were there when the moment happened. Is that when he was a guest on Busy Tonight.
Guys, just spoiler, Caissie. We talked about this in the Q&A that I moderated.
Did
you? Yeah, I brought it up.
Okay.
But
so
you can bring it up for our
You already
audience.
know what I'm about to say is that your husband, Mark Duplass, came on Busy Tonight, and he was really funny, and he played a love song that I think that he wrote for Sandra Bullock when he was a young man, which I loved because that was just funny, straight up funny. But what really won my heart is that Busy would always, for a joke, ask our male guests, how do you have kids, you have a family, how do you do it all? Because
how do you juggle it?
How do you juggle it? How do you do it? And many male guests never even got that it was like a joke. It went straight over their head.
Like, and that's such a great question. No one has ever asked me that before.
I swear to God, Katie, yes.
It was wild. It would always make me laugh so hard to either see that they'd be like, oh no, I'm like trapped here. Like I've been trapped. or they would just like take it like a regular question and be like, oh, I don't really know. I don't know how I do it all. I haven't really thought about it because no one's ever asked me. So when Busy did that like joke question to your husband, he immediately got that it was like an ironic question that Busy was asking because
full disclosure, we're all friends. IRL.
Yeah, friends in real life.
But so he's married to a woman who literally after every red carpet is like, why the fuck do they only ask me that question? I'm standing right next to you. Right. No one ever asked him, who's with the kids tonight?
Right.
I can't. So that actually insulting. It is so fucking insane because I oftentimes, Katie, will just be like, oh my God, the kids. Shit.
Yeah.
Should I have left them with someone?
I don't know. I don't. Oh my God. Thank you for bringing it up. I didn't think about it. I'm having one fucking night out celebrating my work.
Yeah. And you make me feel like I have to call and check on them to make sure.
Thanks for poking a hole in that balloon. But what did he say? You can tell the listeners what he said now.
Busy asked Mark that question. He instantly knew it was like she was doing a thing. It was a little bit of performance art for a point that we were constantly trying to make. And he said, my wife and I are both performers, writers, directors. We have the same job, basically, is what he was saying. And when we first got together and we decided that we were going to get married – and
have children
and continue to do our careers, that we were going to split everything 50-50, completely equally. And I was like, okay, this is like, I like this. But then the part that really won my heart forever is that he said,
all of our hearts
is that he said, but that hasn't happened and it fucking sucks. Yeah. It's the way the world is that I have been granted so much more space and so much more time, so much more opportunity, whatever all he said. He was just basically saying that like he was benefiting from inequality that was also still holding you back, even though you had laid the best intentions to begin with. And, And
you can go into everything with the intention of being equal partners, but like the reality is like more shit just falls on our shoulders. It just
That's correct. That's correct.
Right.
And I think that like I would think most parents, moms feel that deeply, no matter what, if they work in the home or outside of the home or, like.
School calls you. Camp calls you.
We've talked about it. It was a storyline on Girls 5 Eva this year, but we've talked about it on the podcast, how my husband and I have deliberately buried my information.
I hear you say that, and I'm just like, it's first off brilliant and still ineffective.
How did they find you? I mean, I guess it bodes well that schools are resourceful.
They're like, wow, let's help them out. She really accidentally forgot to give me her number.
No,
it's
really like so deeply, like they can't even comprehend it. They literally can't comprehend it.
It's very strange. But anyway, your husband won my heart because of that. And then obviously you won my heart because not only are you like hugely talented at everything. And I just love that you directed this new film, which is so great. We'll talk more about that. But also you're a New Englander. So
oh yes, a maniac.
When you just said forgot, I was like, yes.
It comes out
like,
a lot.
It was music to my ears.
I don't know it. I don't know her. I don't know New England that well.
Oh, well, you have to sort of be from it to get it.
Yeah. No, I understand that part. I definitely understand that part. So I have a question for you that I don't know if you and I've ever discussed, and probably would have been a good question the other night.
Oh,
but
that's
drunk.
why I'm here today. Should we have 2 more bottles of wine before the conversation?
I mean, guys, it's cocktail hour for me.
It's time.
It's 5:46. But anyway, did you always want to direct and write, or was your goal when you set out in this industry to just be only just because it's so easy. I set my sights real low, but to be an actor. And then
it's interesting that we've never talked about this because I moved to Los Angeles with the aspiration of being a soap actor.
What?
Wow.
Guys, this is a pivot story I never saw coming from someone I'm very close with. Okay.
I know. Look, I grew up in rural Maine, Case. Like I am from past Bar Harbor, a town called Millbridge, which is like, at the time it was probably 350 people. My high school was like consisted of 5 surrounding towns, and still my graduating class was like 62 people.
Wow.
And so I was in the drama club, but there was never a production. So if you look at the yearbook, I was definitely in it, but like had never done anything and just like had these dreams. And I was like, I don't know. I want to go. The other thing is, I had entered one pageant in my life.
Great. And by the way, pageants really do give people an opportunity sometimes.
Yes.
So this one pageant ended up leading to the big pageant, which was the big one, Miss Teen USA. You all know it.
Yes.
And love it. And I did really well. I almost won the whole freaking thing, which was so utterly ridiculous to me. But it was like...
You were almost Miss Teen USA.
Almost. I was first runner-up.
Whoa. I know. Did Donald Trump own it when you were in it?
It was his first year of owning it.
Oh my God.
Was he around?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, yes, good. But I also like kind of want to be able to have that story to tell, but I don't. My only story to tell was that like there's a swimsuit competition, and in years past they had been like very sporty one pieces, and then Donald Trump bought the thing, and all of a sudden, like I was 16, there were girls younger than me and girls up to 18, and we are in string bikinis and heels.
Oh my God.
Like the tiniest.
I really don't like it.
No, I mean, here's the tricky part is I won the swimsuit competition and I don't know how to hold that information.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I know.
What is it?
Like,
yeah. Like, what does it even mean? Like,
what does it mean? And also at some point, my daughter, like, I'm going to have to tell my girls that, and that's not a conversation I want to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, honestly, that was the first thing I thought of when I found out I was having a girl. Was like,
was it really?
Yeah. Someday I never thought that I would have to have this conversation ever again. And now I'm going to have this conversation.
Like, is more about the adult that's making you do that than it is about you were a teenager. What did you know? You were
just trying to like do a thing.
You were just trying to get that scholarship.
Yeah, I was trying to get out of a small town.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? I was doing.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
But it worked. It worked. I ended up going to school in Boston for a couple years and then convincing my parents at 19 that I was ready to move to Los Angeles. And I was like, I think I could land a soap. I don't know how to act. I've never taken an acting class in my life. So soaps.
Question mark.
Question
Wow.
Well, also like, I guess that was like a lot of your exposure, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
No?
look,
I don't know.
will-
Why did you think soaps? I'm just confused. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I'm taking this back. Why did you think soaps? Did you
Girl,
love
great,
soaps?
great question. I did. I was a big
Okay.
like General Hospital fan, but
Mhm.
also I was a huge movie fan and a huge TV fan. But I think there was a part of me that was like, well, I'm not there. I haven't
Don't
gone to
dream
school
too
for-
big. You
I
thought
haven't
don't
gone
dream
to school for that.
too
And
big.
if you're not
Oh
going
my
to go
God.
to school for that, go on to a soap opera.
Wait, don't. That's kind of incredible.
I know.
Yeah. Well, it's a really steady job and like people have those jobs for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, look at Susan Lucci. She did all right.
Yes. Oh my God.
Guys, she
Susan
did more than
Lucci.
all right.
She did more than all
She's a
right. Do you know that?
queen.
Do you want to know a fun fact about Susan Lucci?
Always.
Yes.
For a little while, she lived in the penthouse apartment at the Americana.
Really?
At the Grove? No, the Americana.
No, at the Americana in Glendale.
In
The
Glendale.
Americana. Oh my God, wait, what? That's amazing.
That's
Isn't that
amazing. Guys, in
crazy?
case you don't know, the Americana is like this
It's a mall.
big outdoor mall.
Mhm.
It's more than a mall. I feel like
It's an
a way of life.
experience.
It's an experience. It's almost like if Disney World was a mall.
There's a trolley.
Well, the
And
first
the
one was the
fountain.
Grove. The first one was the Grove.
Yeah. But then the Americana, that's it's owned by Rick Caruso, the guy
Who's
that's
running for
trying to be mayor of Los Angeles. But
Stick to the malls, my friend.
yeah, stick to the malls. That is wild. Yeah, there's residences around.
Yeah,
that
I don't think she
surround-
lived there full time because I think she's
Yeah,
New
probably.
York based, but she
Yeah.
had the penthouse there, which I just
Wait, I'm
loved.
obsessed with that. I knew
Yeah.
a girl. I knew one of my friends was dating a guy who lived at the Americana, and I was like, "What is that?" And she's like, "Well, it smells like In-N-Out a lot, and you know, it's like there's a fountain show on his balcony every night, and he loves it." I'm like,
And he loves it. You get to
"Okay."
listen to Frank Sinatra, just get pumped in.
Yeah,
Okay.
leave the fountain.
If you-
If you've ever taken a cruise where you had an interior cabin that overlooked
God.
the shopping center, that you would be totally fine living at the
Yeah,
Americana.
that's your
I
jam.
think. Yeah, that's your thing.
And you can have katsuya.
Yeah, and there's a
Din Tai
Sprinkles-
Fung.
A Sprinkles ATM where you can just go get a cupcake out of
By
an
the way,
ATM.
there's a Sprinkles ATM at LAX because Birdie and their friend Bevan got one as we left LAX this last time, and I was like,
Those cupcakes can't be fresh.
I think they must. They
In the
must be
ATM?
pretty good.
How do they keep it stocked with what you need?
Well, it's like any of those like vending machines that have fresh food in them. They just like come every. They like must.
Right. I think fresh is like not accurate.
yeah.
I think that's probably fair. That's probably fair.
Right.
I can say that we were at the Americana recently and we saw the Sprinkles truck tried to enter the regular garage and ripped the top right off that truck. So that probably wasn't a fresh Sprinkles situation that day.
Those
He
were
looked so
exposed.
I didn't want to like get in his business and we would have held up traffic, but he just looked like so like I've never
Fucking
seen.
bummed.
Yeah, he was just bummed.
Well,
and I
'cause
just wanted
think
to be
he
like
probably lost his job. that
probably,
day.
but I wanted to be like, it's gonna be okay.
Sorry, I
It's-
didn't mean to laugh at Katie. That delivery was really good.
Because guys, I ultimately did go to school for this shit. It's
Yes.
like it's how the story progresses.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you're in LA and you're like soap operas,
I
and
was
then
like, this
people
is
are
great.
like, "Oh,
And
wait,
they're like,
if you want to do
yes.
soap operas, you go to New York."
No, I tested for soap operas, you guys. Like,
Wait, what? Which
Dream
ones?
come true. I tested for Passions, for One Life to Live, and Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, the B&B.
The B and the B.
Wow.
And with no training. Actually, it's not true. I took acting classes while I was in Boston. When I got to LA, I did the thing that you're supposed to do.
Sure.
Every actor who moves does it. But I was like, and then I did that show on MTV called Undressed.
Oh my
Liz,
God,
do
you were
remember
not on Undressed.
I was. It was my first job.
Oh my God.
Yes, I was
I'm
a
sh-
lesbian
I'm
on
shook.
Undressed.
I'm shook.
yeah.
I'm like truly shook. Casey,
That's
do you
pretty
know what?
wild. Yes,
do you know
I
what
know
Undressed
that.
is?
Yes.
It is essentially a soap opera on MTV.
It's like a soap opera that was also like kind of softcore for teens.
100%.
It was like
it was like Skins or
Skinamax. I was
Euphoria.
Yeah,
but
without drugs.
Yeah,
it was very like pure.
Yes,
but it was very like horny. It was like horny teens.
Yeah,
in college.
And I played a horny lesbian who was going to college and hadn't told her family that she was gay. And her sister comes to visit, and she had to live a lie, and then it came out.
Whoa! Wait, was Christina Hendricks also on that?
Yes. Yes, she was.
Yes.
You guys, this is
wild.
A scoop.
Wild.
By the way, it is. Scoop. I don't think I've ever really talked about it, but it was. This is embarrassing to say because it was MTV's Undressed, but it was that job that I was like, I really want to be good at this, and I'm not. And I want to be better. And so I started really thinking about going to school. And so for a couple of years, I like toyed with the idea. And then after a couple other small, tiny jobs, ended up going to New York and going to theater school.
Wow.
That's awesome. I mean, I feel like that is so wild that you're like on Undressed and you're like, really want to nail this.
I love this so much, and I just want to be better at it.
I mean, but I like that you like had that self-awareness. So many people don't have that self-awareness, especially when it comes to, I don't know, the arts. And you must have been pretty young.
Yeah, I was 19. I was 20 maybe when I did that show.
And also you must have had something because they put you on the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
look at her. She's got everything.
Thanks, Biz.
She's got it all.
Yeah. So to answer your original question,
yeah.
No, I did not know that I wanted to be a director and a writer. And it was only after I had Aura, my first child, that I looked to Mark and I was like, I really miss working. I really want to get back to it like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Will you write me something? And he goes, why don't you write something for yourself?
Okay.
Wow.
And I said, okay. So I wrote a movie about a woman who cheats on her husband.
That must have been comforting for him.
Hey, look, don't push me.
By the way, it's like, that's on him.
Yeah.
Literally, you asked him and he was like, do it for yourself.
A role to do something very demure and nice. Instead, he pushed me out of the nest. And that's what I did. And then I really I fucking fell in love with it. I love directing so much.
We love your directing so much.
And I love your directing so much. But I also think it's like, it is a shame that more young women aren't given the chance all the time to direct because young women are way more suited to directing than young men. I mean, especially young mothers. Like
the amount of compassion, I think, and patience and understanding.
Yes. And quick decision making that you have to make. And like rolling with the punches and multitasking and like all these things that like we are actually the fucking best at because we have to be.
You know what we're not great at is jumping without knowing what we're jumping into. Like I think there is like
100%.
I think stereotypically speaking, men are so much better at just like plowing forward without knowing exactly how everything is going to unfold. Right. And I think that we just generally speaking are like, we want to know what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. And we want to make sure we're prepared for all of the things as they go. And so I think that is the thing as women we could maybe be better at is like, just it's that thing, right? Of like women I need to be overqualified to apply for a job and men don't have to be qualified at all to think that they can do it. So
Right. Yeah. I think that's another thing is that when someone tells us, oh, you're not ready for this, then we're like, oh, okay. I'll come back to it in a couple years where I don't think men get told very much. Like, I feel like men are almost like, I hate to use the word groomed because that's like such a loaded word right now. But I almost think like I have seen in the industry people like going to younger men and being like, hey, I think you're ready to try
You're really
this.
cut out for this.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
and when are we ever told that we're cut out for anything? Except
true.
For parenting. Like, oh God, you'd be a great mom.
Right.
It's so gross.
It's so gross.
It's so fucking gross.
And like my thing is, I say this all the time on the podcast to my friends. I just want the opportunity to fuck up as much as every guy I've ever known has fucked up everything they've ever gotten a chance to do. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm just saying I could fuck that up just as good as that guy did.
Here's what you can absolutely do is say, I am willing to take the chance and admit when I don't know something and say, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. Let's figure it out together. Like Busy, last week you said something about the girl who wants to be a director how like guys don't know what lenses are. Unless you are trained to be a DP, most directors don't know exactly what lens to use exactly when. They don't know what light is like, what the filter, what any of it. You know what they do know is like to hire the right people to do those jobs. So when they need to know, they say, I don't know, whoever you are, like, what do you think? You tell me.
Right.
Totally.
Guess what? I can fucking do that.
I mean, and you do.
I just did.
You just did
it. The movie is so good. It stars Diane Keaton's the star, but the whole cast is so great. I was so happy to see Loretta Devine. I love.
God. That girl, that woman's magic.
Literally, who doesn't love Loretta Devine? I'm not kidding.
Just that voice. I mean, just everything.
If you're out there and you don't love Loretta Devine, you can keep walking.
Get out of here.
You just keep
click
walking.
Off. We're done.
Just get out of here.
It made me realize that I wish she had like a really big social media presence so I could just tune in to like her doing Instagram lives. Yeah. But she's probably pretty busy and doesn't need.
She is. She's so busy she can't even come to the premiere, which I'm really sad about. She's shooting
what?
something.
What is she doing?
She's out of the country. I think she's in Canada shooting.
She's doing something. She's always shooting something. But
she can't.
Tell us what you want to tell us about the movie because it's just so good and so fun.
Look, I think it's like it's a super fun body switching movie that is like, I think body switch, the whole device of like storytelling with
always been my favorite. Always been my favorite.
It's so great because like you have this opportunity to teach a lesson, to show two perspectives, and no one knows they're being taught a lesson, right? Like,
right.
It's what these stories do. So it's a story of a 30-year-old woman who is living a pretty inauthentic life and is having just like a miserable time trying to keep up with her friends around her and longs to be that self-assured woman that her grandmother was and confuses really age with wisdom, right? So when shit gets really hairy in Palm Springs with her friends, she just wants to lie down and she escapes into this regression pod where she lies down and admits to herself that she feels like she's a 70-year-old woman trapped in the body of a 30-year-old.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
and then magic ensues.
Magic ensues. And then she's all about the journey to like get back to who she really is.
It's also embracing the new form that she's like taken and the freedom that that's allowed her
to be able to like really be to free yourself of the constraints of like what you think you're supposed to be allows you to just sort of let yourself shine, like the real you shine.
And really, and really be you.
Yes, I loved it. It just hit all the right notes for me from like being in Palm Springs, obviously I was like drooling over the setting and also like the fashion aspect of, you know, what you wear as a 70-year-old woman when you don't care anymore, what anyone thinks. And like the truth is that like she was so fashionably on point. She's so chic, which is like.
But Diane Keaton is just like that.
Diane Keaton is so chic.
But that's the thing, right? But Diane has carved out that space for herself.
Yes,
right.
Because she is unabashedly herself. Because she refuses to follow any trend that she and herself has become a trend. And like, I think that's awesome. I wish we all could do that.
transcended trends. I love DIANE KEATON on social media when she'll like get out all her hats and like compare her hats, and she'll be like,
and they all have a personality, and like,
they all have a personality, and like
you guys,
in some ways,
I need to follow. I'm gonna have
you need to
follow Diana.
She'll be like, this gray hat is like, it might look the same as this taupe hat next to it, but actually they're very different.
And like, this hat over here. Oh, this hat's crazy. I love it. I don't know. I should kill myself. I don't want it. It's like the way she has these conversations just by herself is
about
like,
the hats. Okay, guys. Listen, the point of you being on this podcast is not to direct everyone to DIANE KEATON's Instagram. However, I think we've all learned something. That's learned something.
That's a
we
side
can all
side benefit.
Take something away. And that is follow DIANE KEATON.
But I love it. And so like, okay. The movie's so delightful. I know that you were sort of like working on your own movie to direct and had been trying to put it together.
By the way, I might make it a TV show now.
Great.
Oh, exciting.
I know. You heard it here first. First time I've said it out loud.
Knocking on all the wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I still want to make that, but yes.
Yeah. But so you're in your Pilates class in LA. This is true, right?
This is a true story. Yeah.
You're in your Pilates class in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And
Alex Sachs, the producer of Book Club, who I've stayed really friendly with, walks in and was like,
guys, "Babe, sexy old lady reading 50 Shades of Grey movie. Remember from a few minutes ago when I brought it up and I was like, what's the movie called about the sexy book club? And then we realized it's just called Book Club. It's just called
But
Book
they
Club.
should have called it Sexy Book Club. And I feel like that would have
I gotta be honest with you. I don't know why they didn't. That does feel like a missed opportunity.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
All right. That's what happens when a man makes the movie.
That's right. So the producer, so DIANE KEATON's producing partner.
Yes, Alex Sachs, who produced Book Club, who is actually a longtime friend of mine. We go to the same Pilates studio.
Great.
And she walked in one day and was like, "Are you going to direct again anytime soon?" Because it had been a minute. And I was like, "Yeah, no, I was actually just thinking this is the year I want to direct again. I want to put something together." And she goes, "Actually, I have a script for you," and gave me Mack and Rita. And I read it and I was like, "Yeah, no, this is a really big, broad body switching comedy with DIANE." And I make like tiny, little, small indie movies about feelings and for no money. And she's like, "Well, we don't have a ton of money and it's still about feelings." And
if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, exactly. There happens to be body switching, but like, are you going to say no to a DIANE KEATON movie? And I was like, "Yeah, no, that would be a really stupid move." So I said yes.
Wow. I'm glad something good came out of Pilates for someone finally.
And then we ended up having to rewrite and rework the script for the pandemic. And we ended up writing in the Pilates studio. And that is the Pilates studio that is in the movie that I like felt like I was going to kill DIANE KEATON on a reformer on. I think that scene in the movie is like really, it's the whole idea is that all bodies can do Pilates. And the truth is like, no, not everybody can do Pilates.
Not everybody wants to do Pilates.
Not everybody wants to do Pilates.
Mm-hmm. So there's that too.
There's that.
But so,
by the way, that would have been funny if she left the studio and said, not everybody wants to do Pilates. Go back and reshoot it.
But so you guys started putting the movie together in like early 2020, right? Like January, February?
I jumped on board January 2020. We were looking to shoot it.
Any story that's like January 2020, and then you're just like, and we're out. And that's it. And then it's over.
And then it was like, this sick joke of, I mean, like the whole fucking pandemic is the sick joke. So I don't mean to like oversimplify here. But the sad thing was like, the only sad thing about the pandemic was my joke that I was going to direct DIANE KEATON in a movie. And then it just totally went away. Like it was gone. And I felt like I had like a weird fever dream that was going to happen. And then Alex came around like in like October or November and was like, I can get some money, but we're going to have to rework like everything. Like we had Coachella in there. We were going to shoot.
Right. Like instead of it being like a bachelorette weekend, wasn't it Coachella?
They were at Coachella. Luca's tent was like a side tent at Coachella. And
which I love.
Yeah, and then she was going to change back at Stagecoach. We were gonna get like Loretta and Wendy and Amy and all the women like at Stagecoach, and I was like,
I actually think that's funny. So hilarious.
That's
but
so
also
funny. That's a whole other movie you have to direct. Yeah.
And
Guys, I love another pivot.
It is a pivot. But I love the version that this is. I love the like.
It was
I like
perfect.
this version now too, and when you scale it down, you actually get to focus more on the characters. And I think the heart kind of shines through a little bit more. It's really sweet.
Yeah, I was also so excited to see Wendy Malick. I love her. We were just talking about her.
She's so brilliant.
She's so brilliant.
Here's the thing: TV actors come to fucking work.
Hi.
It is like they know where a camera is. They know where there is air to fill. They know how to fill it. I have such a massive, like Elizabeth Lale, same way, like came up doing TV. Such a huge appreciation for TV actors.
Yeah. Wendy Malick, brilliant. Also, one time, not to make it about me, but one time she was a guest on a show that I worked on, and I was just like telling her where she needed to be, and she reached up and tucked my hair behind my ear, and
that's the best thing that's ever happened.
I just was
love
like,
it.
That's so intimate and sweet.
I love it.
Can I go home with you? Are you my new parent now? My third parent? It was really, it's just one of those things that I'll remember forever because it was so loving.
That makes me want to like tuck people's hair behind their ear now.
By the way, I was literally just thinking that, Katie. I was like, how do I work that into my life? Like, how?
It was just her being like, okay, cool.
People will be like,
you.
what the fuck are you doing? Like, don't touch me. And I'm like, but it was sweet when Wendy did it.
It was so sweet. And I think it was just her way of being like, this is a calm situation and there's nothing to worry about. And I hope this makes you feel 1% better. And it was just really good. And she's outstanding.
You're like, 101% better.
So like, I'm going to be talking about this in 20 years.
Yeah, in 20 years, I will remember.
I'm going to see her tomorrow and be like, I spoke to someone.
I actually sort of want you to, just because like it is so specific. And also like, what if that was her move? Yes. People just like all the time.
Yeah.
It also could be that like I interpret it as so loving, but she also could have been like, oh my God, this woman looks insane and her hair is everywhere and I can't stop myself from fixing it.
She's freaking the fuck out. I
don't know about you, Caissie, but when I get stressed out, like the little wispies around my ears like tend to go like flying out.
And they're like curly.
Maybe you were literally like, you looked like a crazy person.
I was wisped out and she just was like, I gotta help this girl.
Baby.
Or maybe she felt a real deep tenderness towards you. It was just an actual very beautiful expression of her very real tenderness.
I'm gonna find out tomorrow.
Find out and only tell me that it was affectionate.
Okay,
no matter what.
If
she's like, that bitch was crazy. She was all sweaty and her hair looked like Albert Einstein.
She's like, oh, I remember that.
She's like, that was wild. That was wild.
Could you imagine if she remembered it? That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she looked nuts, and I had to smooth her out a little bit.
I don't believe
about
it to
her
be
a lot.
true.
What was it like shooting with all of these folks that are like total pros, total comedic geniuses?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was that like being the captain of that ship?
It was, if I'm totally honest, I treated it like it was my wedding, where I was like, take it in, Katie. Just like slow down and take it in. And I would like, there was a scene at the end where it's all the women who come to the apartment. It's Lois Smith, who was in East of Eden and kissed James Dean.
Like, I can't. Lois Smith.
And Amy Hill and Loretta Devine and Wendy Malick and then Diane Keaton sitting on the floor. And I like sat down on the floor with her and we were like, I was like listening to them run the scene. And I just like looked up and I was like, I hope I just always remember this. And they were just like laughing and the camaraderie was really beautiful. And it was just amazing. And then like Nicole Byer, who is just like brilliantly funny. And like that role was like barely written because like I knew whoever I was going to put in there, I'd be like, just get up there and go. Like just do it. Make it you and whatever your version of weird is and like have a blast, make it big. And she did. And I just like her coming in for ADR for those scenes was like my favorite. I have a video of it. It like makes me laugh so hard. And then like Jeffrey Self, who's a scene stealer, and like it's a real example of like there are no small parts. Like every single person who came in just sort of knocked out of the park. Like the friends, Ali and Sunita, are like so funny to me, and I just like I loved it. I've never had such a joyful experience working.
Yeah,
before.
I love that.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I loved my crew. I had a great crew. It was a fun
so happy
job.
to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. And how did you do it all? You're a mom and you have kids.
How did she do it?
How did you do it?
Well, one day I couldn't get childcare, so I put one of my kids in the movie.
And
it ended up working out.
She's so cute. She's so cute in the movie. Katie's little one plays the very youngest version of Diane Keaton.
I know. And she really knocks it out of the park.
She really
she like gave me options. Like
I love it.
Oh, wow.
Cute.
She knew.
Was she good? Like, did she was like okay with you directing her?
She loved it.
Yeah.
She loved it. She worked like 2 or 3 days. And then like a week later was like, oh, Mom, I really miss set. I miss being on set. I miss the crew. I was like, oh, shit. Here we go.
Same.
Here we go.
You got her bitten by the bug.
I know, but she was so cute.
She was.
So cute.
She was so cute.
What day is it today? Today's August 10th. Because it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the movie comes out in theaters.
Technically tomorrow.
The 11th?
On Thursday.
In a lot of theaters, they do that Thursday
thing.
And then officially everywhere on Friday.
Guys,
please go see the movie.
I just like make a weekend plan.
Yeah, it's the perfect thing.
It's the perfect thing, especially because it's so fucking hot out and it's so enjoyable. And you'll just want to like cozy up and be like just like treated. It's a treat. Yeah. It's a treat.
I think the movie leaves you with like I think you walk out of the movie with like a real full heart.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
So
I do too.
Who doesn't need that right now?
Who doesn't need it?
Who indeed?
You're absolutely right. What else is going on with you? What the worst question anyone's ever asked anyone. But what, are you going to just take a break for the rest of the summer and relax, or are you going to keep working your tail off?
I'm going to hustle and try and put another movie together and then see if I can get hired to be an actor on someone else's thing and make me someone else's problem for a little bit. That would be lovely. Can see what I can make happen. I don't know.
You're always like, I mean, you and Mark really are a good team because you guys do really support one another's work in like a great way. Obviously, like it does get, this is what I was saying the other night with that girl who was in the audience. It does get easier as your kids get a bit older.
It really does. And your kids get supportive of what you're doing, right?
Yes.
So like where they used to not understand when you'd leave town and go do things, like they get it now. I want my kids to like see me working and see me going for it and like see me crash and burn sometimes. But I just wanted them to see me at least like taking the swings
out there. Yeah.
Well, Katie, I think that's so important. That's such a good message to anyone who's a parent and who has like, Well, felt guilt about going for it. That's something once you're a parent, you take into consideration, like, am I going to take this opportunity, but am I taking something away from my child? And I'm sure I've said this before, but like one time I was offered a job when my older son was like, he was 7, I think, and I had been home for a while. And I told him, like, I was offered this job. It's pretty cool, but I would have to, like, go work in the city every day and I'd be gone every day. And so it'd be different than it has been for, like, the past year. What do you think about that? And he was like, Mom, that is what you're born to do. Like, why are you going to, you know, like that's, but to have him even at that age, like, not assuming that I was born to just be a mom meant a lot to me.
I think like the greatest disservice we can do to our kids is like let them think that they are the center of our universe.
Yes.
Like they need to feel like they are one of the most important things in our lives, but there's also other important things in our lives that we have to take into consideration.
I think that's really wise. So you heard it here from Katie Aselton. It's important it's important for your kids to see you trying and failing
and getting back up and trying again. You know, it's gotta like, I think also that whole thing of like, I don't want them to see me fail. Yes, you do. Like, my God, they're going to fail. Everyone fails all over the place. It's like, how do you keep going? You know?
Yeah. I mean, if your kids don't see you fail, they will assume that it's the end of the world. But if if
they fail, then they're going to feel, then that comes with shame and feeling like they're the first people in the world to have done it. Like, it's our job to do it first.
Right. And that's all we're asking, to be allowed to fail as much as guys in front of our kids.
That's exactly right, guys.
Although I feel like guys don't admit to failure. They're just like,
but just everyone knows.
So maybe we just stop acknowledging it, right? Like, just be like, we made an attempt and now we're going to go make another attempt.
I meant to do that. LOL. I think that's so great and so smart. Oh, how's everything else going? What else is going on?
Everything else is good. It's good. It was a big summer. There was summer camp and travel.
They're back. They're back from the summer
camp. They're back. They did it. It was precarious.
Do they start?
Did they like it?
Molly, my youngest, like the first week there was like a series of letters being like, I regret my decision.
I regret my decision.
I'm not having as much fun as I thought I would. Would you please come pick me up? I was like, no. No, the camp was like, you need to tell her that's not the plan. The plan is for her to stay. And I was like, all right. And then they were like, you know, there was a lot of tears. And a couple of days in, they were like, we don't normally do this, but we will set a call for you guys to connect. And so she can hear your voice. And and they were like, great, it will be tomorrow at 8:30. And I said, okay. And then like 10 minutes later, I got an email being like, Molly just informed us that she can't make the phone call tomorrow. She will be whitewater rafting. And I was Bridget, we're fine, is what I said. I was like, I think we're going to be all right. And we were. She was great. She ended up like turning it around and really enjoyed her
fucking
time.
Hilarious. Actually, that time doesn't work for me.
I'm so sorry. I can't make that call. You guys watch out that call without me. I will be whitewater.
Will you tell my parents I love them though? Will you just let them know that I'm like I really miss them? But yeah, no, that's not gonna work.
And then every letter after that was like, I'm having the best time, but don't worry, I still miss you, but I'm having a really good time. And I was
my God. I love that.
Concerned. She was concerned.
There's something about a letter from camp that like brings out a certain something in a kid. I love reading all letters from camp. I've been enjoying them on social media, and I always love them when adult friends dig out their old letters from camp to their parents. I never went to camp.
I gotta save these.
Me neither, really.
I mean, Caissie, we grew up in New England where we were told, like, I was told there was no summer camp. Like that was only in the movies. And then I moved to LA.
Amazing.
I moved to LA and take, meetings, and every executive's like, oh, you're from Maine? I went to summer camp in Maine. I called my parents. I was like, you know what Maine
blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Summer camps.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Katie, you grew up in summer camp. Your whole life was a summer camp. And I was like,
yeah. Was it?
No,
Was it?
Okay.
Yeah, we were in the most camp dense part of the country, I feel like, and not many people went to it. Kids were being imported from all other areas of the country.
Not
Yeah,
offered
guys,
to
that's
us.
the thing, right? It's like the city kids. It's the city kids.
I do have to say that one time I got to go to a camp for a weekend, to a camp facility for something, and I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. So I'm glad I got that. I was like, who wants to live in this dusty?
Yeah, but didn't we all read Forever? Right?
Oh my God,
and
Forever.
aren't we were supposed to be having our sexual awakening? We were stuck having our sexual awakening in a parking lot of a Irving.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
At the gravel pit.
At the gravel pit.
I don't know what these words mean, but I'm not into it.
Every town in New England has a gravel, a quarry or a gravel pit that's where you hang out when you're a teenager and get up
and
to
you drink beer.
You drink some beers and get up
drink
to no
some
good.
Beers in the gravel pit.
You guys, you know what we had?
What?
The desert.
Yeah.
The desert.
I mean, it's that's a big gravel pit.
Yeah,
it's
just
like a big flat, dusty gravel pit.
It actually is just a gravel pit.
We had the same thing, Biz.
It's
just ours was made out of granite. And it was different.
Okay.
Same thing. Well, Katie, we're trying to organize a potential camp maybe in the future, so maybe you'll come.
Could it be my first summer camp?
Yes, we can exercise all our non-camp going demons.
I guess it'll be mine too, technically. So, and yours too, Caissie.
All of
so,
ours.
Guys, camp's gonna happen.
Can we do it up at that
I'm telling
vineyard
you.
with the cute brothers?
Oh yeah,
it's honestly not a bad idea.
The
not a bad
Brothers
idea.
Vineyard, yeah.
I'm into it.
I'm here to help.
I'm gonna look them up.
I am here to help.
I'm here for
and
it.
I do want to be a part of this camp because I am a part of this podcast that you guys didn't realize until today.
Katie's and now I am pitching you what I'm doing for the next few months is that I'm the new co-host of this podcast. So thanks, guys. Really excited to be here. Thank you.
We have to go back and get our pictures taken again.
Oh my gosh. I'll just send in an individual.
Okay, great. That's really funny. I love it. What are you doing for the rest of the day? Do you have more press? Or are you done?
I have another screening tonight. Do you want to come out and moderate it? It's at USC. By the way, that was the most fun.
It was super fun.
I left that screening. I was like, I just want to make more movies so I can talk to Busy about them in front of people. It was I had this night where I was like, I just fucking miss community. I miss people. I miss conversations. I thought we got really beautiful questions that made me feel good. And I don't know. So I'll do that.
It was nice. It was also nice. It's nice because the movie, guys, if you're on the fence, I don't know why you would be at this moment, but the movie's really for our people. And Caissie and I talk about that all the time. We want to make stuff, we want to put stuff into the world that's for us and for our people. And I think that's why the questions were so sweet and so not sweet, but so
thoughtful.
Fucking thoughtful and felt like they resonated with us because it's you really did the job of making this thing for your friends and all of your friends,
and why
your
don't
extended
all of my friends I haven't met yet.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
You'll meet them at camp.
Right?
So
yeah. Oh my God. They'll all be there. Now we have to do it.
I know you guys have talked enough about it. It has to happen.
I do want to do it. I just feel like it's too much to put together for fall. It's I can't do it's too much, I think.
It's going to be hot in fall still, too.
Yeah.
But
I want to go
when
when it's cozy and
we're doing a winter camp?
That would actually be kind of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
ski camp?
Yeah, because there's fires and you won't be sweating your boobs off at the fire if it's cool out. Maybe it's a February camp somewhere where they're February is the month that I most want to fast forward through of the year.
Yeah. It's a terrible month.
So it's the new year and nothing great has happened and
March is also pretty shitty. It's
So maybe it's like a February, March camp somewhere.
Okay. Well, no, March can be spring break.
But I also like, is early, no, it's like mid-November too early? Because that's cozy.
That is cozy.
But then you're bumping into like people are making plans for holidays and it's like, it's too much. It's too much. Because
I disagree. I think people need to do that thing where they recharge before they have to go into the holiday thing, where they like really fill their cup.
All right. Well, these are things that we can discuss as we press forward with camp
Katie,
plans.
I would like to invite you to join the board of our camp. Officially.
Baby, I was already on it. You had no idea.
She's like, I've been having meetings.
I'm so sorry. I already, I started the board.
I've been here the entire time. I love you. I'm here.
Oh my gosh. We love you too. We love you so much.
I love you. And I'm so deeply appreciative for what you guys give and share on a weekly basis. I need it. I miss it. And I'm happy to listen to it all the time.
Yay. We love you, Katie. Thank you. And guys, Mack and Rita in theaters basically today. I don't know when you're listening to this, but it's like,
look, make your plans today.
Right, for this weekend.
Tickets now.
Do it. Because also, guys, I'm just going to say one more thing and then I'll shut up about it. It really fucking matters. This is like how they decide whether or not to make more things that star women, that star older women, that things that are directed by women, that are made by women, that are produced by women. Like, so I'm going to be real with you. I'm buying a ticket to this fucking movie this weekend.
I love you.
I'm probably not even going to go because I already have seen it. And it's Birdie's birthday. But I'm like fucking buying a ticket. I
love you.
The commitment. I am buying 4.
For years, I've tried to start this hashtag movement, and maybe this is the year. But whenever a woman directs or writes a film, I always pledge to see it twice in the opening weekend. And again, same thing. Like sometimes it'll be me buying a ticket for someone who hasn't seen it yet or whatever. But I just think hashtag see it twice because that is how.
By the way, buy a ticket and go see Bullet Train or whatever it is. Like sneak into another theater. But those big movies, they don't need your money. They're good.
We need the numbers.
Brad Pitt's gonna get to make another movie after this. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the movie that, like, we don't know
determine
if these women,
whether Katie gets to make her next movie.
Yeah,
it's true.
And we want you to make many more movies.
If you can do it, buy your ticket now, especially in this first weekend.
Yes, it's so important.
Buy 2 tickets.
Go on to Fandango. Buy all the tickets. Buy any tickets you want. Just make it this weekend.
Guys, if I wasn't having money problems, I would buy out a theater for our listeners.
And that's why you have money problems.
But by the way, that is like exactly fucking why I have money problems. I know.
But have a great opening weekend. Take it all in. Right? That's what you said.
My wedding.
It's still your wedding. It's
been
still
the
your
longest
honeymoon.
wedding on earth.
It's the best.
Guys.
We love it.
I love you guys.
We love you too.
We love you too. I hope you'll come back soon.
Well, for camp.
Obviously.
Well, and next week, and then the week after that.
That's true. Okay, yeah. It went without saying. It went without saying.
I mean, we're good. Yeah, we got it.
You're all set?
It'll be the same Zoom link. Okay, we'll see you next week.
I love you guys.
I love her, and I love that movie.
It was so good. It was such a nice thing to just watch on a summer day.
Guys, it's important to see it in a theater.
You have to go to a theater where the air conditioning is always pumping.
Pumping. Get that movie theater popcorn. But I do love magic movies. I really, really do. And that's all I know about that.
I do too.
What do you feel like inside?
What do I feel like inside?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
Like if you got into like
a tanning bed
that
was magical.
Put you somewhere. What era would you be?
I mean, I probably would go back to being like, I would probably go back to like my 16th birthday. Or maybe 8.
Really?
Yeah. 8 or 16.
And then live it all again?
Maybe. I do think like I think about this a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about like if you could go back and know what you know now and live your life over again, how amazing that would be. But also like you'd have to deal with the pain of like not having the people in your life that, you know, and is there any guarantee that you'll arrive at the same place eventually? Probably not. Because if you go back and you know what you know now, then you'll live your life differently and arrive at a different place. So it's not probably something that I would do if it were possible, but I do feel like 8 or 16 is where I would wind up. How about you?
I don't think I would do it.
No, but like, who do you feel like inside?
No, I think
you're just not gonna.
I just am not going to do it. No, inside. I mean, you know this. I feel a bit like a teenager. I feel a bit like a 17.
Yeah,
I feel 17.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah.
I have so much more. I'm not what I was like as a 17-year-old. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm totally different than what I was like as a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
But like energetically.
Yeah.
That's my vibe.
You started by asking like what I feel like inside. And I do think that's, yes, I'm very different than I was when I was 16, but I also, and very different than I was when I was 8, obviously. But I feel very in touch with that girl still. And I think there's a reason for that, you know, those were particularly pivotal ages for me where I had like a couple of epiphanies probably that have stuck with me for life. And, you know, those are ages that like sometimes when I go inside myself and visit my old self, which I do, you know, I make a practice of doing, just going back and talking to that girl and telling her like, it's going to be okay. You know, things are going to be okay. Yeah, I feel just very in touch with those people, with those girls that I was.
Yeah. I mean, I do, obviously, as well.
Yeah. And
my teenage self. My teenage self is my emotional self.
Yeah.
Like when I think about, you know, life.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, and this is like no shade to anyone who is in our lives at that point. But if you're feeling like that, I guess it's kind of probably like because we needed something during those times that we didn't get. And so now we're trying to retroactively, you know, repair that or make it so that younger person inside of us is okay. So, yeah. So everybody probably has a time that they were.
I think it's like, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, in Hoffman, you do this thing where you like sort of visualize your emotional self. And it's like it can be any version of you.
Yeah.
I think that's what the exercise, whatever. Anyway, you like, I think that, I can't remember if you like I don't know. I can't remember. But whatever it is, I landed on the thing that like you basically want your emotional self to age and be your age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want it to like have all the wisdom and the like spiritual knowledge that you have now as a person. But oftentimes we're like 8 or we're like 16 or we're 19 or
It's interesting. I had this college professor, Dr. David Ryder. He was one of my favorite professors in the communications department at Fitchburg State College. He like made us, he would always have us do these like writing exercises or whatever. And I just remember he made us write our obituaries, like what we hoped our obituaries would be one day.
That's literally a Hoffman exercise.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure Dr. David Ryder was probably doing the Hoffman Institute on us like every day. Probably. Who knows? He was great. I loved him. But I remember that he wanted to talk to me after class, and I had gotten a good grade on my obituary. Not to brag. And he was just like, you're really like you're one of the most self-actualized young people that I've ever met. And I didn't really know what that meant at the time, being self-actualized. And I was very flattered. And he was saying it in a way like it was such a big compliment. And so I felt great about myself. But the truth is that probably the reason why I was self-actualized when I was 18 is because I was just constantly trying to like fix chaos. And, like I was probably trying to make everything right that wasn't right,
Well, yeah. That's the thing about people who survive trauma, right? Like, or people that have it in their childhood and they're like, oh, you know who, oh my gosh, Jeffrey on Instagram.
Jeffrey Marsh, yeah.
Jeffrey Marsh. Jeffrey Marsh has a thing that they say on their Instagram, or I've seen them say on Instagram before. I think it's Jeffrey. Anyway, it might be just like one of the other things I follow. I don't know. Like all the like self-help shit.
Right.
Yeah. The non-right-wing version of chicken soup for my soul. But anyway, it's like essentially like if you were a kid that grown-ups were always so impressed with how grown-up you were, like you weren't allowed to be a kid.
Right.
You were trying to meet some moment that you were terrified of. Like you were trying to like be prepared.
Right.
You were in like a heightened state of control, like a heightened state of control.
Yeah.
So that you couldn't let your guard down because of the instability around you. And like, as a kid, like, especially the grownups around you who are benefiting from that, like make it seem like it's a good thing when in actuality, it's like, no, you actually just want kids to be like silly and weird and like not self-actualized. You want them to be like a little bit like blah, like all over the place,
It's true. I mean, it's so funny because it makes everything, we'll talk about like a domino effect, right? It makes everything so complicated. I had so many situations where as a child, I was effectively like an assistant teacher in my classroom. You know what I mean? Like I had literal regular jobs in my classroom. When I was in 5th grade, I went to the kindergarten class every day to relieve the teacher so she could go to lunch for an hour. I was like a 5th grader alone with a classroom of kindergartners every day. And you're always so honored and flattered that like I'm the responsible one, I'm the mature one. But yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But the way that it's like a domino effect is then like when the teacher's like, oh my God, you didn't do as good a job at cleaning the blackboards as you usually do without even having to be asked because it's become your regular assignment. Like, what's going on with you? And I'm like, the pressure not to mess up the weird honorary job that I've been given. It's interesting, like what we do to kids. It's interesting. But it's always posed as like a compliment. And you're just like, okay. Yeah. It was weird for me to realize like, oh, I was self-actualized because I was trying to make calm out of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not like the kids should be the ones bringing the chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting.
It is. Yeah. What a time.
What a time.
What?
So we'd both go if
time.
we had a magical tanning bed that we like fell into, we probably wouldn't agree to do it, but if it happened accidentally, like it happens in magic, it never happens on purpose in magical movies. The person always, it happens without them consenting to it. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe sometimes people want to go back or whatever. But we both feel like we'd go back to 16, 17. That's probably.
Yeah, I would probably do 17.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Maybe 18. 17, 18. I think 17, 18.
Okay.
That's what I will do.
What's your favorite magical movie besides Mack and Rita?
And besides, I Feel Pretty.
Yes. Well, that one I don't think of. I was thinking
It's
more
not
of like
magic.
a going back in time. Or
Right, but like, I mean,
forward
but
in
also
time.
I Feel Pretty is the thing that I think people didn't understand.
Yeah.
Just like, there is no magic. Nothing
Yeah.
happens
Yeah. Yeah.
at all. Big. The original Big.
Big. Yes. Did you ever
I was obsessed with that.
Did you ever get freaked out by
The sex part, the sexy part.
No, I was gonna say
I wasn't freaked out by that.
no, not the sexy part. Did you ever get freaked out by like how independent that character was? What's his name in the movie? Is it Josh?
Joshua?
Josh. How like I feel like I always got so upset because he seemed so independent and he had like this amazing life, but he was like, that movie really thrust him into adulthood in a way that like no other it made me freak out. It made me freak out like that he lived in this big loft and he had a job with a lot of responsibilities and he didn't seem
but like when he first becomes Tom Hanks, it's like terrifying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It's like, and it's also like kind of amazing, like how they really handle it in an intense way. Like that he kidnapped, like that the mom thinks that like her child was kidnapped. You know what I mean? Do you remember that part?
Yes,
it's like very disturbing.
It's disturbing. You know what else is kind of it's an interesting commentary on our society because like he was such a little kid, right? He was like what, 10 or 11, 10?
Yeah, I think so.
When Joshua becomes like an adult, he's rewarded for being like an immature baby. Like
man-child.
A man-child. He becomes like a massive success for being that.
Yeah, but that's just like real life. So.
That's what I'm saying. It's interesting commentary. And of course, Elizabeth Perkins, adore her in everything. She's such a hero to me. Love her.
Yeah, she's rad.
She's super rad. My favorite time jump movie is Peggy Sue Got Married.
Oh, yeah.
But also really reinforces like she fucking helps Richard Norvik become like, why didn't she do that shit? She couldn't. She wasn't going to stay in the past.
I never saw Peggy Sue Got Married.
Oh my God, you would love it so much.
Well, when I was a little kid, I thought it was the same movie as Hannah and Her Sisters, which I think is a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. You won't.
No,
love
I'm
that
not going to. But regardless, I didn't see either.
Peggy Sue Got Married is so good. I mean, Kathleen Turner, amazing.
I do love Kathleen Turner.
Nick Cage being weird as weird can be.
Always the weirdest.
Helen Hunt as the daughter.
I do love her.
And it's a time jump movie, but it like everything about it. Oh, Jim Carrey's in it, young Jim Carrey. My friend Lisa Jane Persky plays.
All right. You've told me enough.
It's really good. Busy.
Can I say something? Can I also say something else though about
what?
time travel, time jump movie? I never saw 13 going on 30 ever.
Oh, you would like that as well.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I don't know why. I didn't see it.
We should, okay. In our theoretical camp, which people are still asking about.
Oh boy, guys. Okay.
Maybe there's a time jump film festival, like a triple feature. And we see a few that we've never, that you've never seen before.
Well, obviously it's just the ones I've not seen. Because everyone else.
Because I've seen them all.
You've seen them all. Big. 13 going on 30. Peggy Sue Got Married.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted's.
Oh, Bill and Ted is classic.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
No,
so many
I don't know.
Good ones.
So many good ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good idea. I'm going to put it on the list for camp.
Put it on the list for potential camp one day.
Camp.
People really want to do.
I really want to do it too. Okay. I want to talk to you about something else.
Yeah.
But listen, it's about the camp. It's kind of the camp thing.
Okay.
Anyway, I think that you and I could do a limited tour.
Okay.
A few cities.
New York, LA, Australia.
Chicago.
I want to go to
Australia. It's a land down under.
I want to go to Chicago because there's a Prince exhibit there.
Great.
And
When
I've
is
never
that?
been to Chicago.
Right now?
Yeah,
Right
it's
now?
right now.
Where is it at? The Mocha?
I don't know. I've never been to Chicago.
What?
I know.
What?
I know.
What?
There's so many
We
places
should do
I've never
Boston
been.
too, because you're so Boston. Here's what I mean, guys. Tour, yay, nay.
Yeah, let us know.
I say yay. I say yay.
Yeah, we could do like a little
You know why?
like little venues.
Oh, I think we sell out huge places. I think we're Radio City Music Hall.
The Tweeter Center.
I think we're not stadiums. Let's not get crazy.
Okay. Oh,
but I mean,
okay.
we're like big, beautiful old theaters filled to the brim
Yes.
with you guys.
Oh, well then we go to St. Paul and we do the Fitz. The most
Fitz.
the most beautiful theater.
The Chicago Theater. Come on, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, Caissie. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
You and I do a show. Everyone's asking for it. No one has asked for it, but I'm gonna give it to them anyway.
I think that'd be fun. We have done live shows in San Francisco in the past, and it's been very fun.
We did, and
Yeah.
it was fun, and we can sell limited edition merch.
Yes.
That will only be there.
Yes.
And we can answer questions and we can have guests and I can sing a song and you can do your magic trick.
Well, I don't know any magic tricks, but I'll learn.
Well, you can learn one.
I have time to learn.
We can make Lincoln come out in his Phantom of the Opera costume.
I'm glad he's come around to embracing that photo. For those of you who don't know this about my son, Lincoln.
The best.
He's 20 years old now. He does what, in my opinion, are very funny celebrity impressions that he posts on Twitter. And professional comedians have agreed they are very funny. It's not just the impressions, it's the subject matter that gets me. But I digress. When he was a little kid, he was super, super shy. Very funny, but super shy. And so when you would say, come on, it's time to take your brother to karate, get dressed, he would like often come down in like a Spider-Man costume. Because I think he thought like, I'm in a disguise and that
People won't see it.
yeah. And not realizing that that is going to make every single person in the world come up and be like, hey, Spider-Man costume. Hey, I love Spider-Man. And so that was his philosophy. It was wrong, but that was his philosophy as a little kid. Anyway, I think it was his brother's 7th birthday, maybe. And we lived by the beach in Westport, Connecticut. And so we would often, because it's cheaper and like, who cares if the kids make a mess or run around, we would often have parties at the playground at the beach. And Eli's birthday is in July. But anyway, we said to Lincoln, it's time for your brother's beach birthday party. Go upstairs and get dressed for a beach birthday party in July. And so Lincoln went upstairs and he came downstairs in a full Phantom of the Opera costume, mask, vest, tie, suit, black pants, gloves. And so we just have this photo. It was like the first time I think I ever like sort of had something go semi-viral on the internet. I took a picture of Lincoln on the beach standing in the sand in his fucking sweating his tiny little...
I mean, honestly, it's insane.
Guts out. In this Phantom of the Opera costume that he was like, this is what I'm wearing to the beach birthday party. This is who I am. So anyway, and I tweeted the picture and people were as entertained by it as I was. But there were years where I would be like, want to just tweet that picture out for like, it's like the anniversary of the great Phantom of the Opera birthday party outfit. And there were so many years where Lincoln was like, do not. But now it's like...
Yeah, I mean, he had to come back around.
Yeah, he had to come back around. And both of the guys remain huge fans of Phantom of the Opera. And now I think Lincoln has it as one of his profile pictures. And I'm glad he sees how funny it is. Yeah.
Can I tell you something, though? Like, it does... I think it is hard for kids to come around on a thing that they were, like, embarrassed by.
Yes!
I do think it weirdly takes longer than you'd think.
Oh my God, 100%.
It was a swing. It was a swing for him. And it is an insane picture. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure Caissie will be happy to repost it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know about also like the yearly Santa Claus pictures, like the guys go.
Yeah.
And there were like 7 years where Lincoln absolutely didn't want to go and Eli absolutely heckled him into going because Eli rightly pointed out that if you miss a year, you can't go back and get that year back. So it's better to just go not wanting to go to make everyone else happy, including me. But, you know, and it used to be like a Macy's Santa every year. And then we had to change it to allow like other Santas because we moved to the West Coast and they don't have Macy's Santas here. And then one year the pandemic was so serious that they only did it over Zoom. So it's not perfect like it was, but I will say that Lincoln is back on board.
I
and he's
love
like,
that.
Oh my God. One time, did I ever tell you about the time when we went to, what's the mall in Santa Monica? The like outdoor mall?
3rd Street?
Yeah, I think so. That was where the guys decided like.
It's the 3rd Street Promenade.
The 3rd Street Promenade, yeah. The guys decided, like, Eli heckled Lincoln into doing the Santa photo. Lincoln did not want to do it. We went to the 3rd Street Promenade, and Eli was like, come on, it's not like Macy's. The line is, like, whatever, like 100 feet long, whereas Macy's, it all snakes through the belly of, like, 34th Street Macy's. It goes past the Macy's jail that you've heard about in David Sedaris books. It's like you could wait for like 5 hours to see Santa at 34th Street Macy's. Anyway, Eli's like, the line is like 100 feet long. Santa's at dinner right now. He's going to be back in like 15 minutes. Let's just get in line. So Lincoln's like, oh, fine. I'll do it. Fine. Meanwhile, this musician on the 3rd Street Promenade starts playing Sexual Healing in front of the line of like the 100-foot line of children and my 18-year-old and 20-year-old kids. And then they finally get up there, they go in and they go into this like little tent that the Santa's like inside a little tent. And it takes like 5 minutes to get the picture, probably less than 5 minutes. They come out and Lincoln's face is so red. He's like spitting mad. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, oh, Eli started shit with Santa. And I'm like, what happened? And Eli's like, I didn't start shit with Santa. Santa asked me what my wish was for Christmas, and I said that I simply wished that Donald Trump would be removed from office. And then Santa was like, oh, I don't know. I think Donald Trump's doing a pretty good job.
Nope.
And Lincoln's like, you fucking made me go get that picture taken, and then you get into like a political argument with Santa. He was livid. But anyway, speaking of coming back around, he is now like, I don't think he's like cool with it. He doesn't love it, but he will go get the Santa picture taken. Eli's goal is for them. Eli said he wants them to go every year of their life until one of them is holding an urn with the other one. And then
insane.
And then to keep going and have it so that someone brings both of their urns to Santa for the last picture.
What the fuck? It's insane.
So we'll see. That'll happen long after long after I'm gone, but we'll see
you won't have to see
how persuasive Eli is in getting Lincoln to do that every fucking year of their lives.
Good Lord. That's hilarious. I don't think I have one picture of Cricket with Santa because she always was creeped out. And then I was just like, I won't force it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
It's true. It's true. And that is 100% true. Lincoln was always the kind of kid where he would be like into it. And then once he was on the lap.
I think it's, I mean, sorry. Well, whatever. I don't want to continue
you can say, you think it's creepy.
No, I think it's different for, I don't know. I think it's different for girls.
Oh, probably.
To get the message repeatedly that you don't have to like sit and suffer through something that makes you feel deeply uncomfortable.
No, I think that's true too. Yeah.
But also like boys are victims of sexual assault and whatever as well. But I just think that the message of our society is more toward women.
It's true. It's true. And kids feel different from year to year. Like Lincoln would sometimes be so up for it. And then at the last minute, you know, but people have so many different,
Cricket has never felt different.
Cricket is very consistent.
Oh, that baby is so consistent. I just love that little person so much.
But people, I mean, it's weird. All of these holiday traditions that we have, which I'm sure like Lincoln will probably talk about it in therapy one day. I know people hate Elf on the Shelf, and some people get so much joy from it. And some people are like, you're teaching them to deal with surveillance. And I'm like, okay, I mean, yes.
People calm down about that. It's just enough. Listen, I don't have time to talk about Elf on the Shelf right now. We can save that for December.
That's for another time. What are you doing your best at this week?
Fuck me, Caissie. I don't know. I'm just trying, you know? I'm really trying. I'm just trying. I don't know. I'm trying to like stay. Like I'm trying to like move through things one by one, and it's hard. I feel like really uncertain about like so many things in my life right now, and I don't love that feeling.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's just hard. I'm just feeling like it's hard for me to motivate to like I'm in a rut right now where I like, I guess it's depression. I guess is what it's called. I guess it's called depression. Where I'm having a hard time to like motivate to do the things that I, you know, historically speaking, know will like start to change my feelings a little bit in terms of just like chemical stuff and like, and I'm just not, I don't know. I'm like having a hard time like being able to get to those places, you know, where I'm like, oh, I can do this. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to work out because it'll make me feel, but I know it's going to make me feel better. So, I'm not doing that. I'm not like, I mean, I'm trying to do some things, but then I'm just like overwhelmed by the enormity of all of the things. And then I'm just like, I don't know. But I did do that, wallpaper project. So I am happy about that.
I love that. That was so cool. I was just going to say, I think you are definitely not alone. I think so many people are feeling it, right? Like you just exactly what you said, like feeling in a rut and having a hard time getting motivated to do things. And yeah, I certainly am feeling that way. I feel like it's fucking Groundhog Day over here, you know, just having a hard time sleeping at night because I'm like, I just did this 5 minutes ago.
I swear to God, same. I've been up like every fucking night.
Yeah.
For hours in the middle of the night.
I don't think you're alone. And I think actually probably comforting for people to hear that you're sort of going through the same thing as, not the same, obviously nobody's the same, but similar, relatable.
It's hard. It's fucking hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just, you know, I know we all have had such a time in our lives Sometimes I think it's funny, but I really loathe like the thing of like, never mind. I don't want to get into it. You guys, I'm sorry. No, I really hate that like a lot of times like people who are in the world who don't like me, like not people we know, like people we don't know.
Yeah.
Like that they're like, ugh, why is she so upset all the time? Oh, why is she crying? Like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, why aren't you? You know what I mean? Like what is happening? Like what is wrong with you? Like you're the one that has a fucking problem, I think. I think you're actually a sociopath. Because I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be in this moment going through some fucking shit, you know? Like not all of our shit is the same. Obviously, it doesn't all look the same, doesn't all feel the same, duh. But like, I don't know. It's a hard moment to like just exist.
Yeah.
Let alone like all your own fucking shit that's going on. Like a lot of which I share with you guys, some of which I don't, but like regardless, like you fucking get it. Like it's not like, it, you know, again, that's the part that's like, some of it's different than what you're dealing with in your personal lives or like professional or whatever. And some of it's not. Some of it's like totally the same journey.
Right.
I mean, like the amount I posted that thing last night, I was like really having a hard time with just Birdie's birthday and thinking about the age of 14 and like seeing what a baby they are and like also just feeling my own things about my own life and like what I was at 14 and all of those things. And like the amount of people that like just very sweetly and supportively like sent DMs. I have a hard time a lot of times going to the people that I don't know in my DMs just because, well, guys, historically speaking, that's where the death threats have been.
Yeah.
And or like I want to fuck you in the face and then slit your throat, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And who needs it?
You don't need it.
I really don't.
No. No one does.
No one does. But anyway, I did like go through the like all the DMs from people that I don't know personally, and I just felt like very sad for us all.
Yeah.
Like all of us trying to parent, trying to mother with trauma and of our own and trying to like be the best versions of ourselves for our kids. And like also, by the way, our fucking kids don't care. Like they don't care what we went through. It's not their fucking problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at some point when they're adults, maybe they'll have like they'll be able to like hold space for you as a person and who you were.
Yeah.
But like when kids are little, like they literally don't care. They just want their parents to be their parents and to be the ones in control so that they can be chaos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you got into those DMs, even if it was difficult, because, you know, here's the most important lesson that I learned from Andy Cohen in all the many years I worked with him. He said, people just want to be heard, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yes. And like, I wrote that in my book. Like, we just all want to, like, people want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be reflected back.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, we all want to be reflected back in some way, shape, or form. And like, that's why the entertainment industry is like endlessly,
I was just going to say,
exhausting to me. Like
it's exhausting, but the past few weeks have been particularly just painful. Just to have like your existence rejected by, you know, that's what I feel like when we lose a woman in late night who only has a show one day a week. And that is a truck. That's not your air conditioner. And when we lose, you know, just a whole streaming platform that has And we're told it's because, it's going to be because it's really, the platform's really for men. And even though a bunch of the shows that we love on it are very woman forward and geared toward women. And so I'm guessing we're being told that those aren't important and they aren't the main concern. And, it's, yeah. I'm always exhausted. The past couple weeks have been painful for me as someone that has worked for many decades in good faith, hoping that we would see the changes that we've seen in almost every male-dominated industry have happened in our lifetime. And so I've worked in good faith in hoping that we'd see those changes in entertainment. And I don't know.
I certainly fucking don't. I'm having such a moment,
Yeah, of course. But I'm glad you were able to hear people, and I'm glad that you felt heard. And as for haters, if you're not crying about things because that's not how you deal with things, that's fine. But talking about good faith, it's bad faith to wonder why anyone else is crying. And also it's just a bad use of your fucking time. Just what is that? Listen, being cunty, people always say being a vegetarian's not a personality, and loving Marvel isn't a personality. Being cunty isn't a personality. I
know, but the trick of the patriarchy is trying to convince women that it is.
It's so wild to me, and I just feel like
it is a trick, by the way.
Of course, it's a trick. Everybody has their moments, and we all are critical of somebody at some point, and we're allowed to say this rubs me the wrong way, especially if you have a reason for it. But if you just wake up in the morning to hate on why someone's crying on Instagram, just shut your phone and go plant a garden or just do something. Get yourself a bowl of oatmeal. Maybe you're not getting enough carbs. Maybe you've been tricked by that patriarchal trick as well. Maybe that's it. Maybe you need some carbs to get you through your day without just needlessly being a giant asshole to someone who rubs you the wrong way. Just move on. You only have one wild and precious life, as the poem says. Why would you waste it wondering why someone who's not hurting anyone is doing what they're doing? Just scroll past. Use your little thumb. Unfollow. Mute. Keep going. You gotta fucking move the fuck on. Anyhow. Well, I think you're doing your best. I think that's good.
I did do that wallpaper thing.
Yeah. I can't wait. You said you're going to post on Substack about it. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah. I have to do the full thing. I actually think it'll be better to wait until the shelves are installed to do my full
so you can do
post.
the full effect.
Reveal. The full reveal.
There is
will be on Substack.
Can I tell you? I'm glad you're saying this because I want to see the full thing. I want to be patient. I'll be impatient until the shelves get here and I can see the full reveal. But the one thing that I've been hating, speaking of hating on things, is so many gardener influencers are using molds to mold their watermelons and cucumbers right now. And I don't want to just see you putting the mold on. I want to see the fucking skull-shaped watermelon. I want to see the heart-shaped cucumber. Yeah, I want to see the pumpkin that looks
spookily the pumpkin.
Yeah,
pumpkin.
But I don't want to just see you putting the mold on. Just wait. Bide your time and wait and show me the whole thing. Show me the reveal.
It's
that's my tip to any TikToker, anyone making these reels, whatever they're trying to push us to make. If you're going to do it, show the reveal. Don't show me you cutting someone's hair. Show me the end of the hair. I don't need
that one. I don't understand.
That is wild.
Sometimes there are these TikToks or whatever, and I'm but where's the end? You guys, you gave me beginning and middle, but what?
Yeah.
Tell a fucking story.
Don't show me you pouring a batch of cold processed soap and don't unmold that shit and cut it into bars. I want to see the end. If you don't have, that's That's the art of storytelling, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I need to see it all.
This is what I'm saying.
Even in a TikTok. And if you're not doing it on your reel, if you're not, then you're failing, in my opinion.
There's, I gotta say, I was influenced. I was influenced, and I was, I guess influenced is just the right word.
Yeah.
I was going to look for another word, but by these apartment people that I follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I love their content, and they always show you, they'll do a project, but it's like you see the end of the project.
Right.
Like you see the wallpaper done.
Yeah.
And they just always, it's like they never fail to give you the final result, which I just very much appreciate.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to do that, but like, I guess I could have waited for the shelves, but honestly, I really wanted opinions about the sides. I think I'm going to do a color. I think I've decided a color.
All right. Well, listen, you finished the wallpaper. The wallpaper was complete. So that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing a TikTok that focuses on bangs and you finish the bangs, that's fine. I don't need to see the whole, but I'm just saying, like, you have to have some kind of ending, or else it's a disaster, in my opinion. I feel like you had an ending with the ending of the wallpaper. But I also fully approve of you getting advice, deciding to do a color, and waiting till the shelves are in to do a full Substack reveal.
Then the full reveal will be then. So what are you doing your best at this week? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I said it feels like I'm living in Groundhog Day. I can't really go anywhere again because my fucking car is, for safety reasons, parked in my driveway, waiting to hear back, waiting to hear what is going to happen with Carvana or, the state attorney general's office. I don't know. I don't want to take it to that level. I don't want to kick it up to that level. But also I have like a car that I paid many thousands of dollars for that I was advised not.
Carvana's got to like fucking, they've got to step it up. Do I need to call them?
I mean, I don't know. We're trying to do it the way that we're trying to do it, but it's just taking a really long time to get the estimate. And in the meantime, it's sitting in my driveway because it may not be safe to drive. So that's a bummer. But
I mean, you give the old nod, and we're all happy to tweet at them
to set my friend Busy Phillips loose, calling Carvana on my behalf. I'm trying to be fair, and I'm trying to do things the right way and hoping that everything can be resolved. But I realize this is the same fucking exact thing I said 7 days ago, and I'm still waiting to get an estimate on this bitch sitting in my driveway. So anyway, the silver lining of that is because I was trapped at home and couldn't really distract myself by doing other errands. I finally put the mountain of clothing that I had to put up on Poshmark, and I already sold one thing, even though I haven't really promoted it, I don't think. And even though the closets, speaking of wallpaper, aren't done all the way, I did hang up my stuff in my closets to make sure that the way that I reconfigured them would work. They're by color now, which works so much better for me in making outfits.
I do type and color.
Oh yeah, type and color. Lighter weight stuff to the left, heavier stuff to the right, then by color.
Sure.
I got all my shoes back in the closets. It seems like everything is going to fit. Now all I have to do is I have to construct a flippy thing to fold my clothes. Like every time I get new shelves somewhere, like I figure out how much space I want my folded stuff to take up.
And then something my sister would do.
And then I make the flippy thing so that you fold the things to the right side. You guys know you can buy it. You've seen like infomercials for it, the thing that you flip the panels and it folds your...
I really need that.
Yes. But the point is that just comes in any old measurement, and I need my shirts to fit I need my t-shirts to fit the new width of the new shelves. So you can just make it with cardboard and duct tape. And so to your specific specifications. And I like a horizontal, I like them to be folded more horizontally than most people just usually fold them in half. I like it in thirds. So that's how I'm going to make my flippy thing, which maybe when I get around to that, I'll post that on Substack too. But just
I love it.
Cardboard, duct tape. I know that's so boring to just be like, I did things around my house, but that's where I am right now. And so I fully identify with being in a rut and feeling depressed. And like I said, waking up in the middle of the night and being like, I just slept. Like that's the last thing I did besides tasks around my house all day. But I am going to walk to the post office today to get boxes so that I can ship out the thing that I sold on Poshmark. And
I think maybe it's too hot though to walk.
But the post office is like 0.8 miles from my house, so it's not bad.
Again, just give people the fucking coordinates, Caissie. Jesus.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's like I could do, that's exercise. Like, that's not,
No, it's good. Just wait until it's like a little bit cooler.
Yeah, till it's
and
dusk.
Don't wear jeans. Okay.
See, I'd be planning, whereas like I wore jeans in the car. That was a surprise walk. But this is like, I'm all about preparation. I've been watching this show For All Mankind on Apple TV, which is incidentally features the woman whose house Eli has been house sitting and dog sitting. Leonora Pitts is in it, which was a nice surprise to see her. But this is about like, it's an alternate history if women had always been, not always, but if women had been included in the space program much sooner than they were, like how things would have gone. And it's not just about that. It's very, but anyway, here's what I learned from that show. Astronauts.
Yeah.
A lot of bad shit can potentially happen to them. And you can do the best you can to literally be a rocket scientist and build a great rocket. But a lot of bad shit can happen. And then a person has to like put on a suit and go out into space where their bits can literally fly apart if something's wrong with the suit and like try to fix it like a mechanic. So they're like athletes and mechanics and scientists and just everything. And even though this is a fictional show, I think, they probably looked into how it is really for astronauts. But it has really solidified my opinion that you have to try to foresee every foreseeable, complication. So put a hat in your car when you're getting dressed to go out to drive around the valley. Think about what happens if my car breaks down and I have to, hang out outside my car. Just think about it. It's not
get that Trader Joe's sunscreen. But don't leave sunscreen in your car, guys. That's not good for it.
Oh, okay. That's a good tip. Yeah. Just be prepared, I think that's my message. But yeah, I finally banged out some things that, I feel like in a much less chaotic place. It's still a little chaotic, but look behind me. It's not that
it honestly looks great. It looks there's nothing. Now there's nothing. Now what's going to be on the shelves?
I have to get Eli to get me some vintage decor and to style the shelves.
I mean,
it's probably, I can
do it.
Probably just go in our garage right now.
I was going to say, I feel like you must have enough stuff.
Well, like Eli's entire inventory for when he eventually opens his vintage business is out there. And I could just take it.
So just use that.
For rent.
Yes.
Which he would happily give me. So anyway, just doing what I can to make the most of my time here on Earth in my house where I have to stay constantly until we figure out the Carvana situation. So
it's unacceptable. I'm not okay with this.
Oh my gosh. A couple things that I want to mention before we wrap it up. One, sending love to our editor, Josh, who just tested positive for COVID.
Oh no, Josh.
So just know that when you're listening to this podcast and it's beautifully edited, that the person did it through a headache and a fever and fatigue. And he's the best and we love him so much. Yeah. And so hope you feel better. Also, just happy anniversary to Yurgo and Bridget, to a loving couple who listened to the podcast together. Bridget got Yurgo into the podcast and they've gotten cameos from you and I for each other, I think. And so it's their second anniversary together, and they've been listening to the podcast the whole time they've been together. And so we just want to say happy anniversary because there's literally nothing else left for them. They already got the cameos, you know what I mean? So like the only thing left to do is to wish them a happy anniversary on the podcast. Because
happy anniversary, guys.
They've literally patronized us in every other way possible.
I love that for us and you.
And and to check out Brave Gowns, there's all kinds of cute merch on there, and we're always trying to add new stuff, and we're always trying to add stuff that you all suggest. Somebody sent me a picture of them enjoying the "This was not on my bingo card" beach towel, and that made me so happy because I really want one. We have to get you one.
I need to get one.
Summer and I literally broke our brains to try to invent a beach towel that you could actually play a game on. And so so it's up there. So that's there, but all kinds of other, I think we're putting an Alpha Uterus t-shirt up on there in case that's something that you want to wear if you're an Alpha Uterus like Busy is. Check out the Substack. We're having fun over there, and we're figuring out new stuff to do with it all the time. We have to talk about how you said you had like a specific idea for using video on there, and we have to talk about like what it is you want to do and how we can accomplish that.
Yeah. And if you guys are into like live shows,
let us know. Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Maybe we'll start doing those at some point.
Do you want to come to Duluth with me in the fall? Let's do a live show in Duluth.
Where's Duluth?
Minnesota.
Oh, sure.
It's beautiful. You will not sweat there. I can guarantee you that.
I'll do it.
Okay. All right. You heard it, everyone. Well,
maybe we can do something fun for Vote Mama while we're there because I feel like they have a large Minnesota presence.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. And Duluth is just a couple hours from Minneapolis. So if we decide Duluth isn't the ticket, maybe Minneapolis. But I'm going there in October, late September, early October.
What are you going there in October for?
Because I do that content festival, Catalyst Content Festival.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
Yeah, so that's the time of the gathering this year.
Oh.
So it'll be fun. But I love Duluth, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in Duluth. And maybe I'll hang out for a little while in Minneapolis, too.
That sounds great.
I'm just looking forward to leaving my house.
Well, hopefully you'll have a car by then.
I hope so. I hope so. I don't know how my family keeps making it so that we have 3 cars and 3 cars that don't work. But that's the situation that we're in right now. What
do you think the universe is trying to tell you with that, babe?
I don't know. What do you think? What would you say?
I actually don't know. Like, I mean, there's a part of me that thinks it's like about necessity and communication within your family.
Maybe.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that it is reminding me a lot of like how we lived when I was a kid. Like very often I would have to walk somewhere because like someone's car was broken and, you know, or just because like I lived alone with my mom and she worked. And so if I got a job too, I had to walk to where my job was, even if it was across town, because my mom couldn't like leave work to drive me, you know. And so it's making me think a lot of like we have a ton of privileges in this family. We're very privileged, but a lot of people fucking aren't. And a lot of people take 6 buses to get to their job. And a lot of people are just stuck. You know, and it's like Lyft exists and that's great. And public transportation exists and that's great. But like Lincoln had to go to work today and there's no car to take him. And I was like, do you want, like I sent him like the bus and train route. And to get where he had to go, which is a 15-minute drive, was a 90-minute 2-bus 3-train proposition. And so.
Yeah, that's wild. And also like that's LA. Yeah. You know, like that's not, LA is not built for that. Like,
Right.
and the public transportation is like definitely still trying to catch up in LA.
Yeah.
And
so,
other cities are different,
Yeah.
obviously. They're like easier to manage and negotiate because they were built with that stuff in mind. Like, for instance, Stockholm, I think I told you when we were there, it was like very intuitive and easy, even if you don't speak the language, to figure out the system.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And New York City is pretty easy to navigate. It's time consuming, and you know, you just have to plan for the unexpected. But yeah, here in LA, it's really tough. And it's making me think back a lot to the beginning of the pandemic when school went remote and everybody was just like, well, it's no problem. Like, kids will just do school from home. And Lincoln was like, you know, a lot of my classmates are taking care of their younger siblings all day long while their parents are
working.
And yeah, and also a lot of them don't even have like reliable internet access or computers in their house. So how the fuck are they supposed to do what they're supposed to do? So,
well, the internet access thing in Los Angeles was a big deal.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, for us, it's not the end of the world. We're kind of lucky. Matt rented a car and he's driving himself to work, and Eli's, you know, camped out where he is and he doesn't need to drive around too much, and he's doing his work, and Lincoln's doing the best he can, and we're, you know, just making it work with that one rental car. But yeah, there's definitely a lesson in like it's kind of funny because I'm like, this is just temporary. It's not that temporary if it happens. Like, if this is the third time it's happening in a year that everyone's cars are broke down or unsafe. But you know, I am like, it's just temporary. This situation will change. But for a lot of people, it's not really temporary. You know, a lot of people are just busting their ass to get to these jobs that like people are repeatedly trying to tell us nobody wants to work. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. Like, that's ridiculous. People work really hard just to get to work in many cases. And it'd be cool if we thought of that sometimes. Yeah, but shout out to our friend Janie Haddad Tompkins, because she did offer to drive me anywhere that I needed to go, which is so sweet. She's the best. But also, like, I'm just going to walk to the post office because Janie lives kind of far away, which is also LA, and it would be nuts to drive that far just to take me 0.8 miles to the post office when I could use the walk. I could get maybe in some steps.
Sure. Get in some steps, but also maybe you make friends with the guy next door.
Oh my gosh.
All right, you guys. We love you.
We love you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us.
We love you.
We'll talk to you next week.
We're going to talk to you so soon.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.